Going on about your business.
All right. It's recorded? Okay. Niggas is back. And niggas is black. As always, it's the Black Rasslin Podcast, giving y'all wrestling from a nigga perspective.
From a what perspective?
Oh, shit. Shit.
It's the worst thing.
Control Alt Delete.
The Matrix has us. It's Negro. I mean, Neo.
I love it. No, I love it. This is amazing. This is amazing. It never in the conception of the Black Rasslin Podcast did I ever think that a white man,
A white person,
a white guy would have a chair. But again, we talk a lot about the Discord. I talk about the Discord so much that I feel like I'm the main supplier for random people to get the link for the Discord. But don't at me for it. Don't do it. It's not a request service. But
Our Discord.
we got one of the homies here. We'll let him introduce himself for the people that don't know. As always, I'm Cal at Cal on Twitter, rockthedub.com, but you already knew that. As you should be able to see, or at least have heard, if you're only listening to this on the pod, get on the YouTube. The squad is on the line. Say what's good to the people, yo.
You're IlFan79 on your social media choice. It is Kamala, not Kamala. Y'all niggas bugging.
It ain't about the title. It's who you bodied to get it. At Math Damon. That's it.
and it's me, as it says there, Davis. I just go by Davis. You can have my full name at the end when I gotta plug everything, but the Owl Man
There you go.
No, that's not his name.
Oh,
is in the building. So, yeah.
He got whole tats though.
He golf.
Yo.
He's a
AKA
golfer.
Yeah, this is my dad. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
Yeah. Shout out to my man's Ninth Wonder Bread. He in the
Ninth Wonder Bread is amazing.
Ninth Wonder Bread
is amazing.
could be
Ninth
the
Wonder
title.
I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna shout out you for being a good sport already, because this is gonna be ignorant.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm already dangerous, Danny Davis, the Discord Davis.
The Minnesota Mutt.
Oh,
Stupid. The
Davey
stupid.
Boy Drip.
First of all, I'm originally born and raised in California, so yeah, I mean, I don't claim, but I live in Minnesota. Doesn't mean I claim it though. So
Minnesota, eh?
yeah.
Boy Drip.
Davey Boy Drip.
Davey Boy Spliff. Oh,
White guy Greg.
Whoa.
He's
Like that Steph.
the piss
White-
test administrator. Oh,
I think there's a couple of names for Davis going around. For
The
those
homie
who
Davis, that's the main one. Yeah, like
Facts.
how I said,
The
I don't
homie-
know any.
the homie Davis, yeah. Davey Boy Drip's a good one too. But for those that missed our 805 live, the first live stream that we did for the pod, Davis, as well as a number of the supporters of the pod came through. Davis was dropping all types of stats and knowledge. If you saw, was it last week? We joked about him being stat guy Greg, but it's
I know
happening.
you did. I know you did.
And this past week, after we dropped the pod, he
gave us the stats.
shot a whole iPhone notes. It was go to the Black Rasslin Instagram. You'll see why we're trying to incorporate Davis into this pod. We're gonna. I'm not gonna say it's a trial run, because I think this could have legs. This could be a thing that we're doing. But this will be the first official episode of Davis on the pod, dropping stats. As long as he's not too drunk, and of course, Davis, if you want to chime in,
I was
and
gonna say,
give us some pro wrestling from a white man perspective.
I'll mainly let you guys go and have
Adam Cole and Shawn Michaels stats are not welcome here.
They're very welcome here.
So you want to
Actually,
start? You want to start already?
Mute him. Mute him.
Oh. There's big things we have to talk about, but first, how do I point this?
Almost there you go.
There you go.
If y'all are on the YouTube and see this, that is the latest
No problem.
Black Rasslin Podcast art.
Look at the art. Look at the art.
Listen.
Well, all right. I was gonna say to the people, chill. Like,
Listen, I love everybody. No, Cal. No.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit.
I love everybody out there. When the Black Rasslin Twitter drop the new logo, like we do logos, we try to push logos out every season. Whenever there's a new pay-per-view or old pay-per-view coming around, we try to.
We never talked about that, right? It just happens, and I think people rock with them. Okay.
So we try to push out a new logo just to go with the pay-per-view that's coming up. So we were inquiring about an event that's going on in Iowa. It's called Black Wrestlers Matter.
Fact. You might have seen that on the IG as well.
Facts. So we were in talks of becoming one of the sponsors. And in those talks, we went through various logos that we were going to unveil for that event.
Yes.
The first one, the first logo, we asked it. We have it.
We tried. There's probably a couple of different variations on that theme. It just was the way it was.
Didn't work.
It just wasn't working.
It didn't work. So we, we moved on. Mm-hmm. So we came up with the one that's in the corner right now.
Just meaning math.
Huh?
We meaning math.
Yeah,
no. We move as one.
One band, one sound. Is
by myself.
Davis is part of the one band, one sound as well now.
One band, one sound.
Talk about it.
Yeah, light skin. Heartbreak Dave. Yeah, he's clear.
HBD. No.
We came up. No.
Sounds crazy.
So we came up with this one right here. Mm-hmm. Put it out just for people to see, just to get the response. And the response was,
everybody wants it.
Hurry up, nigga.
Put this on a shirt.
Give me that shirt tomorrow.
Now let me be the first to let you know it. Fuck y'all.
Now, see, that's the problem. Look, there's people. I need this on a shirt. Look at these fancy ends over here. Shouts out to the Public Enemies pod for that one. Your man's Dre.
Check this out.
Shout out Dre.
Shout out Dre.
Fat Boy Diz. That's tough. I mean, look. There's eyes. Yeah. Look. It's just there's a lot going on. This is the one. But wait, because this is Discord related. This is the one that pissed Math off. Rock the icon. Tell Matt Damon, get to work on that new merch.
No.
3 laughing face emojis. And
he said, yo, Rock said.
his response, fam. And then I had to throw
Cal.
I'm sorry.
Is to get merch done. It's a lot more than math. Get the merch done.
Is it?
And it's a lot.
That's what I do. I'd be like, man,
hey,
where the shirts at?
Nigga. Devo, nigga. Devo, get the merch.
I didn't make this shirt. I didn't make this hat.
Look. Yo.
So, like I was saying, it takes a lot to go into this.
100%.
Before we slap something on the shirt, it has to make sense for me.
Or
no,
artistic integrity. Yeah.
He got it. This is his first day.
I don't have it. See, I'm gonna get bumped off the pod. Watch.
So
I came over to take one of your spots. I don't know
take
which
mine.
One yet.
Do it.
Colonizer.
Is that the title for the podcast? Dave is gone. He left. He went to go colonize. He going to claim somebody else's apartment right now. That's crazy.
So it has to make sense.
Welcome to the White Rascal Podcast.
it has to fit.
No, I think I would just keep the name because it's already a brand, but then it'd just be like me and
Wait.
two other white people. Be like, what?
Oh my gosh, yo, it's gonna be you and then the dude from House Party 2 and from the other black teenagers, Jamal Johnson.
Jamal Johnson.
What's up with your girl?
He was really in a group called Young Black Teenagers. That's
Black
crazy.
Teenagers.
That happened.
Tap the bottle and twist the cat. Nigga.
Maybe if you don't know, Google. That's a stat. Check that. Young Black.
Yeah,
teenagers.
if you want to check, that's probably a good stat. I would say check stats on that, and
Check Young
then
Black teenagers.
because dude's name was Jamal in House Party. I don't remember, or House Party 2. I don't remember his name.
It was like Twist the Cap or something.
That was the name of the song.
That was the name of the song. That was a jam.
He was MC Twist the Cat.
Twist the Cap.
Man, he was white man's with the dread. He had like how long was he growing those dreads?
Yo,
Son, I didn't think he
7,
was
8
really
weeks.
white. I didn't think
he was white.
He probably
But-
could have. If you told me he was mixed,
I would have went for it.
yeah, I wouldn't have been like, nah, that's crazy. But that's probably
What
just
I'm
more his swag.
You take care of the girl
me
while
to-
you
For me to just put this to an end, it takes a lot to go into the merch. We can't just slap it onto a shirt. Even though you want it, it doesn't work like that. So give us some time. We'll see if this works. I'm sure we're gonna have something fire anyway.
Yeah, and I just to add on to that,
I'm gonna have it first, niggas. I'm gonna wear it to piss y'all off.
and then you're gonna piss
We'll
on
have
it.
this one first.
No.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll have that one first.
Pointing is not my forte. That's Buffy right there. Shouts out Buffy. I did want to add on though. While we'll get to this weekend. It's been a minute. There's been some interesting shit going on this week, but I do want to say, keep that same energy when that merch hits, because I love everyone that supports. But there's always a couple of people after the merch is gone. It's in the DMs talking about, where's the Hogan shirts at? I need the shirt.
What happened?
If you know about the shirts, I'm hoping you're listening to the pod and realize, or at least on the IG and realizing how long things are out. Because that last merch run did very well, and it lasted for a bit though. It was like a month and a half, maybe 2.
Yeah, it was booming.
So there's time. If you missed out last time, I'm not gonna say what was there is gonna be back again. I'm not gonna say that gray hoodie that Brother Math has on right now is gonna be available.
It's over.
I'm just gonna say, as I always say, Black Rasslin on IG, keep it locked.
Mm-hmm.
If you want more merch, that's probably the first place we're gonna announce anything.
Davis,
Now,
medium.
What?
You bought a medium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is coming. We got
All
his.
Real quick, first stat. So,
Mhm.
Young Black Teenagers, the numbers were ATA, Firstborn, Tommy Never, DJ Scribble, and Cameron with a K.
Cameron, yeah,
And
yeah.
Cameron was Jamal in House Party 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out of here. Seriously? So Cam Jack Cameron's name?
Killer.
Threw a C on it, yeah. Through the C in the front. DJ Scribble. He was on MTV a lot.
Correct.
Script.
He was a good scratcher, but like, come on. Anyway,
Was
Mr. Drip, were you alive when that dropped?
No, I was, like I said, with the RoboCop 2 and 3. I was born in 95, and those movies were in 90 and 93. So,
You were born in
95. I had already had a. Never mind.
95. Yeah, I would have been. I was a freshman in high school.
That was lit. 95 was lit.
so
95 live.
95, it's, I mean, there's Casino comes out, Toy Story comes out.
Oh, you mean in movies?
Well, I mean, WrestleMania, that's WrestleMania 11, so that's Diesel versus HBK, which is
Oh shit.
that's Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow as well. So
That was
Classic.
definitely trash.
Jersey.
That was
right.
the main
Greetings
event.
from Asbury Park.
That was
Jersey.
the main event.
yeah, the main event. Yeah, so I was born during a
Really?
trash WrestleMania.
Yeah,
So yeah,
look at Jersey holding down your WrestleMania. I'm mad at that. Mind you, this is totally outside. Remember, there was rumors of SummerSlam possibly being held in Jersey.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Talk is now that's going to be in Orlando.
Fam came up with them rumors.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
I
He
didn't.
did.
But
Did
it
not.
makes. I saw from my Maryland brothers, Ring of Honor is apparently supposed to be taping in Maryland this month.
I'm not
Really?
going.
Nah.
I'm
That's
not
the
Apparently
last
going to be.
wrestling. That is the last wrestling
not going.
federation. Your man's gonna be there, yo. Yay, bro. Yay, Math.
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
Yo, we was in the Ring of Honor free event, and
this early this year, right?
yeah,
yeah,
right
yeah.
before the Rona,
Right.
and
Me, brother Fam, and Cal Light.
yeah.
Wait, we talked about that because there was a situation with the tickets and everything. Joke is not hopping on the good deals when I remember that. I remember those frustrated polos, Matt. Is y'all gonna hit me? I got it right here. I got it.
I had the ticket. I had ringside.
I remember we talked about that on the.
Oh
podcast.
wow.
But it ended up work. No, that was AEW, right?
Yes,
When I had the
that-
ringside.
yes.
Yeah.
AEW worked out perfect.
Yeah.
It didn't look like there was a lot of good seats in that building. It seemed like
Well,
because
the whole arena is great seats.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's
Nigga, Arn Anderson hit niggas with the Scooby.
Yeah. Great Muda was like,
great Buddha. That's crazy.
me and Fam drinking Hennessy. That
Yes.
I seen in the
Ray
dip.
Muda had some True Religions on.
Yeah.
He was excuse me.
We drinking Hennessy by the man shooting with the camera,
Yeah.
That's what's up.
leaning on the guardrail.
I was
And
like,
then like the AEW nigga with the polo came out. You guys having a good time? I was like, oh, here you go. He was like, yeah. He was like, all right, peace. I was like, oh, we can keep drinking this.
Me and Fam like that.
That's crazy. Now you'll see again these snapbacks were available on blackwrestling.bigcartel.com, but they sold out.
Last
They actually
one. Davis got the last one.
sold out this week, right?
Yeah, they sold out this week. The last one is going to Davis.
That's what's up. Now
New member of the pod. He's gonna have an OVO owl all on the side.
Yeah, I'll have to get that. Yeah, you know.
Look at him. He's smiling and shit too. I'm mad. I'm mad.
I'm pissed. He happy.
Put no OVO.
Colonizer!
If you keep having me more every week, I'll come by in a new one. So I mean, yeah, just
I'm with it.
yeah.
Let's get it.
That.
Nah, but in sad news, Kamala Harris, aka Kamala the Ugandan giant, passed away at the age of 70. I don't know. I remember when I was doing the pod at a trash job by a dumpster, watching or talking about that. Remember that one documentary that Bleacher Report did on Kamala, where they talked about him and the health issues. That was like
short. It was a short.
It was a short. Yeah, it was 20 minutes, half something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long doc. It was something made for YouTube. But that was 2011, and I think he'd been
that long ago, was it?
Yeah, it was before I started working at Complex.
Damn. The Empire, sir.
I'm sorry, yeah, the Empire.
The Empire.
I'm not drinking, so I'm not thinking straight. But yeah, and he'd been having issues.
It's not straight.
No, don't do that.
Oh, all right.
Don't do that.
Oh, all right.
Don't do this. Nah, but Kamala, he'd had issues with diabetes. He ended up. I remember he had one leg removed, and then he had the other one amputated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he had caught COVID.
Yeah.
And then he was also doing like dialysis treatments or something like that, and ended up having a heart attack. But it sucks because that's the story I remember hearing. It's like COVID is going to be the worst for people that have these pre-existing conditions and things like that. And
that's why they tell them to stay away.
Facts. But again, he had been going to dialysis, so it was like at a certain point, there's only so much he can do. You feel me? But like, what are your honest feelings about not the man, but like the gimmick of Kamala, the Ugandan giant, who was an African savage? And if I'm not mistaken, I didn't realize this. Jerry Lawler was one of the guys that was instrumental in creating the character, and it came out of, I guess, around the time of like the Idi Amin stuff, and apparently he grabbed a book about Africa and started sketching, because he's an artist. He started sketching ideas, and it became the stupid African dude who don't know how to pin people. Like, how do y'all feel about that gimmick?
It's racist, and when I was young, I was completely petrified of whoever was Kamala. Like, completely petrified. Like, if I would have seen Kamala at an event, like walking by in the hallway, I'd have like cried. Like, I was
when he started smacking his stomach?
Like, he wasn't smacking his stomach yet.
Nah, he wasn't doing that yet. Son, I'm gonna keep it a buck. It was the first event I went to. I'm not sure if it's the first event Fan went to. And Kamala was wrestling Jake the Snake, right?
Is this Cap Center?
This was, I want to say it was the arena, but it could have been a Cap Center.
Okay.
I had nightmares
about Kamala,
like terrified, my G. This was because he came out with the mask.
With the mask on. Sometimes he had the spear.
He had the spear, he had the handler, and he had the shield. You see what I'm saying? But the way that he was portrayed on TV was the savage.
You don't think you could have outrun him?
Nigga, I'm 7. I can't outrun the wind, nigga. No,
but he would have been 40 something, and like,
nah, then that nigga was running ropes at that time, son.
Yeah, he might have been like 35.
I need to see how fast Kamala has ever ran the ropes.
You saw him jump over Hulk Hogan, leapfrog.
Meltzer said that out of all of Hulk Hogan's opponents, Kamala is like the 4th in terms of gait. Apparently, when Hogan and Kamala, that their feud was huge, and I think a lot of the, like, because he was talking about him in Texas, and of course him in Memphis, and that a lot of that was because he was built as a monster. I mean, he was literally, he was no selling. It was a lot of squashes.
Son, he didn't even bend you.
Well, he couldn't
throughout the ring, son.
That was the first. I was like, all right,
roll him over.
He's a pro wrestler. He knows how to like go. Like, he wrestles. But you mean to tell me, and this is the shit I hate. You mean to tell me he knows all this shit about wrestling, but he can't remember that he has to have the guy on his back to pin him?
Son, they used to pin him on their belly and pull their leg back.
And be confused when the ref is like, son, what are you doing? No, say it.
Oh, no. What you was saying?
Maybe don't say it.
You pin them on their belly too, don't you? David,
don't say it.
David, do you find that
real quick? Isn't it kind of like foreshadowing that Hogan's 4th biggest opponent was a Black Brian?
The African Savage, yeah.
Yep. So maybe that just stuck in his head all these years later, that it was just he couldn't.
Vince was like, "Who do you want as your next opponent?" And Hogan was like, "The black one. I'm gonna beat his ass every night." Like was that? You think that he was ready?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
What you gonna do, Nick? Kamala.
I'm saying, knowing what we know now, I think
that's a good point.
Mr. Drip, who was number 1?
Well, I'd have to. I mean, I'm not Meltzer. I don't have all the numbers right.
I forget who was number 1.
Yeah.
You got Google.
But I mean, I got. Well, do you know who was Kim Chi? Who was Kim Chi? Do you know that?
No.
No.
I'd have to go back and listen to
was it Doink? Was it Matt Bourne?
It was Steve Lombardi, aka the Brooklyn Brawler.
Bro, oh, shit!
Here, are you serious?
Yep.
Under a mask and a goddamn safari hat.
At the same time, he was the brawler.
I mean, they had him. He did all the jobs, didn't he? Wasn't he Doink for a while, and then Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, and I mean, they had him do. Yeah, I mean,
let's see. Is Hulk? I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to.
Wouldn't it be Andre though? I mean, no,
Andre was probably one of them. I can't remember who the other two were.
But I mean, even though their run probably wasn't as long, it had to be Andre. I'd assume, or
Andre was one.
Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Like I said, I can't remember.
Inoki.
And if we're doing strictly WWF or not like WCW, because WCW would probably be what?
Yeah,
Piper. Yeah.
I don't think he specifically said WWF, but I also think that there were. I don't know gate wise. Might be if we're talking specifically house show attendance and things like that, it's going to be hard because when Hogan was in WCW, they weren't doing a lot of
house shows.
They weren't doing out touring at all, especially Hogan. So you would think, but I wouldn't be. Unless if you factor in pay-per-view buys, maybe I don't fucking know. But I think he was specifically talking about house show gates, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't anything like fairly modern. It was a lot of like 80s stuff.
I'd imagine so.
Which made sense to me. It's weird because I didn't realize there was a Kamala 2. I was reading about that maybe like a month or two ago. I didn't know about that.
It was smaller.
There was a Kamala. There was a Kamala 2, and then there was another Kamala. I don't remember what that one's name was.
She's gonna be the vice president.
What?
Well, he had those shirts. I never copped the shirt, but he was selling those shirts.
Cal, I want to before you proceed. I just want to say, Aaron, Davis is here, so you can sit the fuck back.
Facts.
Relax. We got it covered now, nigga.
These
real
shirts,
quick.
Those were hard. Though. I'm sorry.
Those are those.
What you got, David?
It's saying that Uncle Elmer was Kamala too.
Mm-hmm.
So
what was
that with the jumper?
There was.
Yeah, Uncle Elmer was white.
That's why I'm thinking like, is this
I remember
blackface.
There was some random blog I had read.
In Memphis for Jerry Lawler, most likely, I'd assume so. I mean,
100%.
Black body. Big Mama. He had a Big Mama suit on.
Kamala
2.
And Kamala 1/2 is out.
Kamala 1/2. Yeah. Kamala 1/2. Yeah, that was Uncle Elmer, who was also known at one time as Plowboy Frazier.
I was just about. Do you want me to read all the names he had? Like
he does something on Congo Rilla. That's racist.
That sounds like gay porn. Plowboy sounds like
Tiny the Plowboy. Like, doesn't that defeat the purpose?
That's gay porn. Tiny the Plowboy is crazy.
Tiny Plowboy.
The convicts. I mean, I
don't know.
Yeah,
this shit is crazy. Uncle Elmer. I don't understand it. I'm gonna assume that Kamala 2 and Kamala 1/2. Yeah. That doesn't.
Yeah, that's what the.
Who is that man?
Fam, I don't.
Who is that masked man?
Who is that man?
I don't know.
I can't even think if I have like a favorite. Like, I don't have a favorite Kamala match. I just remember him being.
I would say I don't know much about Kamala because he was before my time. So
he was gone.
He was, but it was like.
Y'all ever heard the It's a Busta Rhymes and Jay Dilla record, right? Called High.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's like high. Mm-hmm. Like that is how I heard Kamala's music. I heard that music.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Yeah, I was terrified.
On the I forget there was that one the WWF game that was on the Sega CD.
Steel Cage.
Is that what it was called?
It was yeah, that was Steel Cage. It was Royal Rumble and Steel Cage.
I remember
Sega CD was Saturn, wasn't it?
no, it was the Sega CD. I had it. It was because the Sega CD, you had it where you could either put, if it was a newer model Genesis, you could
you could put
Sega
it on
CD, it would connect to the bottom of the Genesis. But if you had the old, because I had the older model, it had the connection on the side. You had to take a part off the side and like slide it onto this big ass Sega CD thing. That game, I remember liking that game because it had. Matter of fact, there was a Royal Rumble game. Was it on Genesis? And it was basically that game, but enhanced.
It was that game with more people. Yeah,
but it was
I
on
was about to say.
What's up?
So yeah, Sega Genesis, it's Royal Rumble. Sega Genesis also it's WrestleMania the arcade game, and Sega CD is Rage in the Cage.
I had that. Yeah, that was the best part of that. It had a lot of characters, but they were able to, because it was on CD, it was the actual entrance music. So
Kamala is on the cover of Rage. Along with everyone, pretty much.
I remember that was where I remember the music most, because I would watch. Again, being a fucking nerd, didn't have any friends. I would sit there and watch how they did all of the intros to hear the music, and I can't even imitate. I hear it in my head right now, and I'm kind of like,
was Kamala trash
in the game yet? I never wrestled with because he was, again, they had him be slow, and he didn't really have like fire, like he was chopping like that on top of your head type shit. It wasn't fun.
It's a Tonka chop.
Yeah.
I don't know what you doing, Davis.
They've done like the one chop and then they'd be like, bam! Like I guess that's the is that the Dusty Rhodes doing the elbow?
It's the African version.
The African version is funny. But rest in peace to James Harris, aka Kamala, the Ugandan giant. I felt bad because apparently after he was pro wrestling, but before like he was very sick, he was driving a truck.
Yeah,
and Meltzer said he was actually enjoying his life. He didn't have to worry about wrestling, getting beat up, or anything like that. But literally, that was when he started getting word of his medical issues, and when he lost his foot or his leg, that's when he had to stop driving the truck, which is very sad. 'Cause I think that really messed up his income. I always remember it being a thing where it was like, he needs, help for his funds for, continue his medical procedures and everything. So,
no, I want to note that we reached out prior to releasing the Ugandan John snapbacks to try to get half the proceeds to Mr. Harris's family.
But we never heard any.
Nothing.
We tried, and I will say, even though he was in, for lack of a better term, he was in pretty bad way for like the last 10 years or so of his life. But online, he seemed like he was having fun. He was able to still enjoy himself and still see the good side of life, which is important. I would hate for him to be this crazy African savage gimmick, and then the rest of his life also be shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace to him. I can't even recommend a good Kamala match. Just go on YouTube and find some Kamala. Get scared. I'd say probably
real quick.
Yeah.
That Bleacher Report article, it's a long form article. It was released November 19th, 2014, and it looks like it's a big feature on him, probably his whole life story and everything that you just kind of summed up just now.
But there is the documentary in there as well? Because there was a documentary.
I see pictures of him, maybe. Yeah, I just see images, and it's a long article. I don't see.
There was a doc. I'm surprised that I thought it was Bleacher Report did it. Maybe it was someone else. I don't know, but maybe that's what you do. Maybe go to YouTube and search for the documentary on Kamala. It's not his wrestling life. It is his life, as him dealing with, his medical issues and everything. Damn. And it was weird because it was the same week that Kamala Harris got got announced
Yeah,
as the VP.
I thought that was very like it's one of those weird universe things where something like
Super
that
odd.
happens and then you're like, what the hell?
It's one of those things where I can't even make the joke on Twitter because no one's really going to understand it.
Yeah, or I mean, and it's not like well, and it's like her name's not Kamala, it's Kamala, right? The whole
Hold on, it's not.
Isn't it? I just know from the Maya Rudolph SNL where she's like Kamala rhymes with Pamela, something like that. When she does a impersonation, like she didn't call her Kamala, so I'm like, and I've heard it like both ways. But I mean,
Both ways.
when you hear Kamala, you think of the wrestler, not
Facts.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, if for people like us, wrestling fans, yeah.
The real ones. The real ones. All right, so that out of the way, I want to get into some of what was going on this week. Yeah, get the sadness out. Although we've gone like 30 some odd minutes talking all kinds of stuff, but we do need to get into some current wrestling. I don't know. What Raw had the good. It was Asuka Bailey, right?
Asuka Bailey.
Yeah.
I watched that. I watched. This was the week where Dabba-Kato grabbed a dude.
Yeah.
By his manhood, and then.
So Bobby Tunde just grabbed a dude, right?
By his Bobby Tunde.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his finisher?
That's what finishes
Shane McMahon stopped the match. He's like,
When
stop
a man
it,
grab
stop
you
it.
by your
Stop
Bobby
it.
Tunde?
It finishes me.
Shane McMahon knows because Kane hooked the cables to his
So shit.
Yeah. Shane McMahon was like got PTSD talk and was like, all right, let's put a wrap on that.
But no, that Asuka Bailey match was good. Put a wrap on that is funny. No, Asuka Bailey was good.
Got her.
What? Put some ice on it? I mean, what do you want?
No, it's fine.
Gotta get the swelling down.
Yeah, I used to know.
Put a wrap on it is good. Wait.
I'll say this about Raw real quick. Apollo had a really good promo finally, and stopped the whole smiling and did the "I'm a bad man," and it was like, all right, like if this is what he's gonna be, then I can see it. Like finally, because I've been a supporter of him since he kind of got there.
You believe?
I mean, what?
You believe it?
Believe
that
what
that's gonna work out going forward? Or do I?
Do you
believe? No, I mean, what?
Do you believe what?
Do you? No, what I'm saying is, do you believe?
Oh, do I believe in it? In him?
Yes. Yeah. Do you believe in him not being the smiley motherfucker?
Oh no, not at all. No.
I don't think he's anything but a smiley motherfucker.
That's all we've seen of him since NXT. In NXT, there was just like he came into the and wrestled and like it was like this guy. If he had time to develop, he'd be something. And then they rushed him to the main roster, and it was like it was basically a wrap after that. I remember around 2016, I kind of like wrote something about how he should have gotten a spot in the Survivor Series match they had that year to kind of give him a spot, and like maybe that John Cena should have put him on.
That was Raw versus SmackDown, right?
Yeah, it was the first time of the brand split, and he got drafted to SmackDown. And I'm like, a big thing for them to do would like pair him with John Cena. And John Cena sees him as like how John Cena came in with a ruthless aggression and like trying to win approval that way. I think that would have been the best way to go for the character he had at that time, which was just that, he's a big muscle guy that can do cruiserweight-esque moves. Yeah,
they definitely dropped the ball. I mean, hopefully.
That was 20.
And they tried Titus Worldwide with him, and that, I mean, it's Titus O'Neil. There's not much he'll do with that. And then this year, after Mania, Paul Heyman seemed to have goals for him, and Pritchard and Vince at least seemed to be carrying it out to an extent.
Yeah. And I guess it probably all. What's up?
No, I was ready to say that was 14?
2016.
Oh, 2016. Okay.
Yeah. Because he got signed in 2015, I think.
What was his name before he signed?
Uha Nation.
Uha Nation.
Yeah.
I don't know how you go from that to Apollo Crews.
Real close to
well, Uha's his real name. So
yeah, but like So it was Apollo Creed and Terry
His
Crews.
name is Ray
It's
Nathan
the
Creed.
essential, 100%.
Yeah.
It was Apollo Crews and Apollo Creed and Terry Crews. They saw like.
Hey, yo, go ahead and get rid of that Crews part of it right now.
I was gonna say, I wonder how he feels about Terry Crews.
Well, remember they dropped that, and he was Apollo
did.
for a while, and he was one of the first times that they dropped the last name with, and then they started doing it with Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali, and it's really hurt them in a way where these one-sounding names.
Yeah. But it feels like
It sound like jobbers, yo.
Is Murphy still just Murphy?
Yes,
Yeah,
Murphy.
that's what I mean. And, I mean, I get you don't want like someone being called Buddy is like not really threatening in a way. Like, but,
Sorry,
Buddy?
what did you say? What did you say, Davis?
What's up, buddy?
well, I mean, no, I mean if the person's name is Buddy, but I mean,
Yeah.
you can say Buddy to me, and I could take it like, what do you mean? Like, I ain't your buddy. Like,
Buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy is cool. Buddy was
I
cool, right?
really don't even.
Buddy
use
is
that word.
not cool. Buddy
no,
is
that's what I mean.
cool.
I just
Don't
hear
even-
the South Park episode
Buddy.
where they're like, "I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not
Buddy,
your
we
pal,
cool,
buddy."
buddy.
Like,
not your
Jesus.
buddy.
Buddy, we cool, buddy.
yeah.
Why you pointing at me?
I hate Buddy. I hate Buddy.
You gonna fight me, and I ain't even say the shit.
You didn't say it
Nope.
today.
I don't say it.
You didn't say it. No, Cal, you didn't say it first the time there was an argument.
That's what I'm
Hold
saying.
on.
It didn't even come. It wasn't even said.
I said Buddy, not referring to Cal.
No, he called you buddy, Cal.
That's what happened. You said
No.
buddy, Math, and your cousin said, "Wait, you ain't hear him say that?"
Hold
Because I
on.
did it.
Yeah, that
I
was
did
kinda
it.
recently, wasn't it?
That was about a month or so
Oh,
ago.
you
Yeah.
stay out of
Yeah.
here. You stay out of this, goddamn it.
All right.
Because you tried to say I said it.
I said Buddy, not referring to you.
Hey, yo, this nigga Davis is in the background pouring Kool-Aid. I
I'm
know
Yo,
it's great.
No, he's making
I know
hamburger.
I know it's great mixed with lemonade.
He
Great
really
mixed
about
with
to,
lemonade. This
he
nigga
about
is
to
at the
bounce
house.
me off the pod.
This nigga is definitely at the house.
Lemonade.
Yeah,
What
he's definitely at the house drinking Purple Source Rex.
That's my favorite. I ain't even gonna hold you. What is that? What you got? Water?
I got water and Moscato. So yeah.
Talk about it.
Man, he got
He drinking
nigga
responsibly.
That nigga keeping
No,
it
no,
spicy
'cause
and
I only-
hydrated.
I only drink water during Monday through Thursday, really, and then otherwise, like, yeah. I mean, what are we talking about? My diet.
Friday through
you don't-
Sunday, it's Michelob.
Next week, if there's positive feedback, I'll drink a Michelob live on the air. So
So,
Talk
yo,
about
it.
if you say Friday
I'll
through
go-
Sunday, he drinks
I'll-
Michelob.
no, I'll go Stone Cold Steve Austin though with the Michelobs and just
With the glass bottles, they come in cans.
no, they come in those aluminum cans. Remember, I tweeted a picture.
Boys, they got the skinny boy. You know the tall boy cans. They come in the skinny
Yeah.
boy.
I can't even say what I want to say.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. If you have to say that you can't say it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Was the other thing that I remember most from Raw was trying to figure out why they had to beat Dominik like that. Like I thought the kendo sticks, I thought they were worked. And then
I think-
by the time he's done, he had all types of welts on him. Like, the fuck is that?
But, all right, I think here's what happened with that was that again he's kind of got the perception that it's like he's Ray's son, so he's getting preferential treatment, so he's got to take the supposed
Yeah.
payback and all that and earn, or basically he's got to earn it.
Mhm.
So I think
Pay
they
dues.
use pay dues. I think you got to use that as both a work and a shoot in a way, doing it at the same time. But like I put in the Discord, I think that was a lot more emotional and sympathetic than what Cody did with the 10 lashes a couple
Oh no, yeah.
months ago. Like
100%. I think.
Go ahead. Because like I said, Cody's thing was, since he's in charge of the show, he thought that'd make him
Look
feel
a certain
sympathetic
way.
but if you want to look like, oh, if I get whipped and all that, then people will love me even more. It's like everyone already loves you because you're Cody Rhodes and all that. But Dominik, it's like I mean, people in our Discord love Dominik. Shout out to Monday Night Ron, and he's the big Dominik champion over there. But with doing for him, because that's
he just likes Dominik because he fucks with Dominik, or like does he think he's actually like a good?
I think
what has Dominik done for you to fuck with him?
I think it's not the fact that he's like a hype beast, and
when
the fact, I mean, he's taken some good bumps, and whenever he's done some offense, it's been like not sloppy, and it shows that he can work. So I think it's the whole like maybe getting on the bandwagon right before it starts to take off. Like if this match with Seth works, then maybe he's got a big future there if that's the plan.
Let's be clear, Mr. Drip. If this match with Seth works, it's because Seth is working.
Yeah, that's 100% true. But also, I mean, it's a two-way street.
Not on this one. Not on this one.
Well, because it's like, all right. I'm sorry.
Do you think the Pat McAfee match is going to be good? And that's Adam Cole.
So this
I'm not watching it.
This is my thing with Cole. Adam Cole could go.
And still Seth Rollins, yeah.
Adam Cole could go.
Oh, okay.
His recent workings within the ring are dumbed down.
But that's because it's all
correct
TV matches and no fans. Yeah.
Everyone's
work's been like that.
So with Pat McAfee, he's going to have to turn it up. He you know what I'm saying? Yeah. His dancing partner isn't an actual dancing partner.
You think he's gonna do the Shawn Michaels swapping around the ring and
No, Shawn Michaels stinks.
My God.
Dominik already doesn't look like a pro wrestler at all.
That's what I was kind of
correct.
Except that he's tall. Shocking. Like he's taller than
he's got height.
A few guys. Yeah.
He looked, and I mean, and again, this is coming from a guy who's spent the better part of the last 3 decades sitting on his ass watching TV. But he looks like a guy who sits on StockX.
But all day. But look at the guys in NXT.
But I'm not wrestling Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. At some point, if his career, he signed a contract. At some point, if his career is to be a WWE superstar, shit's gonna have to change.
He's not. I think what's throwing us off is he's not even billed as a cruiserweight.
Oh no, not at all. No.
But because his pops is a cruiserweight, you expect him to be a cruiserweight.
Can he run?
He did the 619. It looks like he can.
Yeah, but he's not a cruiserweight.
But I would hope. Side. But what I'm saying, but remember, Cain Velasquez was doing that shit too.
But he's athletic.
In that one match that
in one match. But also, I mean, look at Adam Cole. He's technically a cruiserweight, and
correct.
Yeah.
Shit. But I mean, it would be. I'm hoping that Dominik, if he could learn some of that shit in this time between whenever he seriously wanted to be a pro wrestler.
Have we seen him attempt anything?
Yeah, he did the 619 like a week or two ago. And he did it against Brock with his dad. They did
I'll say something common, something I guess that the letters, because we don't even really know.
An arm drag, a Richard Blood arm drag.
Yeah, Dick Blood.
No,
Deep arm.
Did you say Dick Blood?
I said Richard Blood.
He said Richard Blood. Your cousin said Dick Blood.
Yeah.
Blood. Huh.
Crazy. But yeah,
some Rick Boat smoke.
Isn't Dick Blood your favorite?
Huh? Dick. Yeah, Davis loves Dick Blood.
You okay?
The pro wrestler. I don't know what y'all talking about. The drag.
This is because I said AJ Styles, which is a fact, is better than Rick Boat Smoke. So.
Then who?
Again.
Huh?
You,
What'd you say?
White guy Greg
What you say that now, Chuck?
was born after House Party 2 and RoboCop and all that. Like
you don't have the credentials to make those statements.
I've seen AJ Styles for the last 15 years, and I've seen some Ricky Steamboat matches. I've seen the ones against Flair. I've seen the Macho Man match.
This is last show.
All right. Here's the thing, and because
First and last, one and done.
So
is it?
Straight to the pros. Right after
there are two things that Alan Jones, you know what I'm saying?
Alan Joseph.
Yeah, no. Joseph is his middle name. But no, there's two things that AJ Styles has never done, right? He's never had the best match at WrestleMania. That's the first thing he's never done.
Yeah.
Second thing
Yes, he has. Yeah.
When?
Shane McMahon.
Hey, get him out of here.
Look. Nah, hold up a sec. Because I knew there's a couple matches that you could say, oh yeah, AJ really did that. Somehow that you could say it. I don't say it is, but somehow
you had to look at Shane McMahon punches.
Somehow I knew that this man was gonna say Shane McMahon. I'm not a Shane McMahon. I've never been a Shane McMahon fan.
I've always been a Shane McMahon.
I respect Shane McMahon's importance as an attraction at a pay-per-view. He's going to jump off something stupid. He's going to wrestle. He's going to be entertaining. His match is going to be.
He's willing to risk himself.
He's been willing to risk himself doing the same shit for 20 fucking years. Though, like him jumping off the cage is the same shit when he jumped onto the fucking cardboard boxes when he was wrestling back in 2000, 2001.
And Rick Steamboat doing a deep arm drag 4 times.
And Rick Steamboat put on some of the most classic pro wrestling matches you've ever seen in your life.
Let me back to my life.
You go back to that.
Number one, AJ Styles.
I'm just saying you gotta play it both sides. You know?
Has never put on the best match at WrestleMania.
I just said he did.
No, but it was wrong. It's okay. And then the second thing he's never done is had a running feud anywhere near the equivalent of Steamboat Flair. There's nothing.
So him and John Cena
is nowhere near what Steamboat Flair is. Now, mind you, Steamboat Flair had the benefit of the territory system, so they had a lot of matches there that went Broadway. Correct. And you know what I'm saying? But so they knew each other really, really well and worked a long time. However, it's not really our fault that Vince McMahon bought all the territories so AJ doesn't get to work in that system. However, there's nothing that he did in TNA. There's nothing that he did in New Japan that long-term storytelling wise matched up to what Ric Flair and Ricky D Dragon Steamboat gave to wrestling.
D was his middle name, but hold on. AJ Styles.
It's short for Richie.
He's a superior performer, or was superior.
I don't discount Steamboat as a worker. I'm just saying I think
you think AJ's done
matches. Better? I just think AJ is better, and it's not like drastically.
That's fair.
I'd say
no.
Maybe it's like he's that like he's the modern day, or I mean not really like modern, but like it's like in ball you can't compare Magic, to LeBron right now with like who they played with and who they played against and the equipment.
No. I actually think AJ Styles is better.
Oh yeah. But you think that he doesn't have?
I think, and it's funny because we always talk about the two sides of professional wrestling. It's the in ring and then on mic. I think on mic wise, I think AJ trashes Steamboat.
Yeah, right? Steamboat wasn't a promo. He wasn't a promo.
Steamboat was never good.
But that's fair.
He could give you good 80s face, right? Pause. Yeah. However,
fiery.
However,
Hey yo, 80s face is crazy.
80s face is
Really
not going to be
hairy.
the title of this
Really
episode.
hairy.
Good
Isn't
80s
80s
face is
Isn't
this
80s face like after you take a line and go?
Oh,
Isn't
shit,
that
yeah.
80s face?
the 80s bump face.
That's that coke
Yeah.
nose. Okay.
Ugh. You
I think
it's,
I've
it's what work players
I can't
promos
feel it.
are.
facts.
I can
facts.
feel it. However,
I've-
that's the thing is like, so AJ is really, really good at being a heel. You know what I'm saying? And he works well as a face because he's not a huge guy.
He's not a good face anymore. Back in the day, yeah, but
This is a great face, right?
But 2010 onwards, he became a great heel, especially in New Japan with that, because the Gaijin, the white people essentially are heels over there.
Mm.
And in WWE,
Except for Kenny Omega. They love his mediocre.
well, because he basically was like created in Japan in a sense, like his gimmick and all that, and
it's why he doesn't work on TV over here. It's why his character doesn't work on TV. Over
I think
here.
that's a convo for another time.
Character.
I think that's more of him not giving a fuck more than anything. Like,
No.
that's
His
been
character.
this
I don't give a fuck.
that's Finn Balor right here, though.
I don't give a fuck.
His character doesn't work here because it was that weird. You know what I mean?
Hold on. You jumping.
I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry.
wait,
I'm
wait,
sorry.
wait.
Ricky the Dragon
Let's
is
get
better
back-
than AJ
let's
Styles.
get-
My bad.
No.
This will, if I'm on the show going forward, this will be like our running gag
Well,
debate. Is like,
I think what we're gonna have to do, because AJ, I'm sorry, Matt, but AJ and Cena was a trilogy, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but it wasn't. You can't compare.
Yeah, I can, and I do, and I
want to watch both. I think I want to watch both. I want to watch.
You can't.
We'll do a watch along, and we'll see
Facts.
what's better.
I said I need to watch. He told me I can't compare. I just want to see the shit.
No, what I'm saying is, I think AJ Styles is a superior performer to a lot of the cats that came up in the 80s, excluding Randy Savage and Mr. Perfect. He's not touching those. He's not.
Okay, all right. I'll just leave it at that. You know.
But if we're talking feuds, he doesn't have one that touches, like Cuz said. He doesn't have one that touches.
I disagree. Maybe that's because those two were my favorite wrestlers growing up, and I've always been my favorite wrestlers.
Styles and who?
Styles and Cena.
They had good matches during that trilogy too.
Oh, no, but I mean,
Cena was on
that
fire
too.
at that time.
But
I mean,
Cena was never not on fire.
Cena.
Ruthless aggression.
Yeah.
When I say he was on fire at that time, I'm talking.
That's
2011,
2017 Destroyer and the Stunner.
The United States tournament, the United States
It's
Championship.
Let's be clear.
It's not a Canadian Destroyer. It's a sunset
Cena
power. It's a sunset bomb.
Is good at.
That is an American Destroyer.
He's good at.
That's an American. Yeah.
It's called out of Trump. I'm sorry. Yo, cancel me for saying that Trump is the American Destroyer. When you see all these motherfuckers, never mind.
Nah, ain't canceling shit.
All right. I do want to rewatch. I do want to rewatch those matches though, because at least the first two. I feel like Styles and Cena.
No, it's the second. See, the first one at Money to think is okay. That's them getting to work together finally.
It was 2 and 3.
Yeah, SummerSlam is like they stole the show. That's where Cena leaves the armband in the ring. It's like this might be done for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 1 hour Royal Rumble came 2-3 weeks after Okada Omega won. So they like, let's show it how you're over here. And they did, I think, just as well of a job. And
yeah, you're right.
And doing a WWE version of that, where I mean, sure, Meltzer said they hit like 4 finishers each, but they don't have to work Japanese style over here like they do there, where they can drag out and hit simple moves and they're just the same.
And
also, even watching Omega in it's 15 V triggers.
But
in Japan, yeah, and I mean that's awesome.
That was still an awesome match. That was still an awesome match.
No.
Davis question: AJ Styles or Shawn Michaels?
Wow.
Oh, AJ Styles. Yeah.
Wow. So is AJ Styles replacing Shawn Michaels in the GOAT conversation for people?
AJ Styles or Bret the Hitman Hart?
I got it.
You know what? I'm not starting a war with Greg yet. Him and I can have a stat war.
They're gonna have a stat off.
I'm with it.
That's a stat.
But also he knows my feelings about Bret Hart because I said, I'm born. I'm the son of a wrestling fan. That's something I wanted to ask you guys a little bit later because you all have kids.
Ask now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all right. So you all have kids. Yeah. Have you pushed wrestling onto them yet, and how's that gone, or you haven't yet?
So
go ahead.
I'll speak for myself. I have an 11-year-old, right?
So that's
my 11-year-old. My 11-year-old used to like wrestling. Early, like 4.
Mm-hmm.
4. 5-year-old, I couldn't take his John Cena hat off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At 5.
You're a horrible parent.
And no.
That's
Remember the small, tiny wrestling figures? Like they were
Awesome.
They were no. The actual WWE. They were WWE. They were kind of cartoony.
They were like this.
Oh yeah. The
like
City
this?
ones, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So
This was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This was Tatanka. This was Kamala.
No.
Sorry, anyway.
So these the small wrestling figures. These were.
This nigga look like a Mortal Kombat character.
He does. Fight.
And John Cena is this.
Yeah, for real.
And then fuck all that.
Yeah,
What in the nigga city ransom is going on here? Anyway, so those little figures I used to help potty train my kid. Like every time he successfully went to the bathroom, he got a new one. Like we bought a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And every time he successful. So when he was young, like I got like memories on Facebook and Instagram come up. Oh, this was 5-6 years ago. Like for Little Fam's 5th birthday, we took him to Disney, and he's got like the champions here with the big belt on the shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what he had on. You know what I'm saying?
Horrible parent.
And a pair of Junior Seau.
Great
and
parenting.
a
Great
hat.
parenting.
It worked. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That was the thing. Well, because my son, he'll be 14 in September, but it was a similar situation where
all of a sudden he was and then wasn't.
Younger, loved it, but he would watch it at 4 or 5 years old. He would watch it when I would watch, obviously, before he had to go to bed. And we would go to live house shows. We actually I probably took him about 4 or 5 times. It was the last time we took him. It was around like the Bray Wyatt Shield era. I remember seeing that live, and that was really dope. We were like second row, second from the guardrail. It was really good.
It's funny you mentioned Bray. We took Little Fam to Raw the night that Bray debuted.
The first
Oh
night.
wow, that's crazy!
Oh wow,
when they were chanting Husky Harris in Baltimore.
That's crazy.
We got there, we go to the arena, and he had never been to anything like that, so he didn't even know it was wrestling. We get up to the stairs, and then they start playing the music. His face was like,
"Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah, he was the shit out of Kane that night.
I see, but the thing is, after a while, I think mostly he used to play SmackDown versus Raw when we had the Wii. He used to run that game, but as he got older and got an Xbox and was chilling in his room playing Fortnite and shit, he fucked that wrestling shit. And now it's to the point where, especially during quarantine, I'll be home, I'll have Raw on during the day, and he'll be down. He'll be like,
"Fam, you still watch this?"
He just cracking jokes all the time. I'm like, God, you got a room and you go watch TV upstairs. I mean, you ain't got to do this. I understand it's fake, but
who is that?
But goddamn, I ain't say that shit about Fortnite. Whatever bullshit anime you watching, but
yes, that's my kid too. Anime and Fortnite.
Yeah,
and now it's anime games.
Ike wife?
Oh, God.
You mean Ike's wife? Anime. So, David, my kids.
Jesus,
my kids.
You're a serial killer.
I've never seen that movie, but I know what it's from.
Yeah,
it's not in real life. It's from real life.
I know. But I mean, I've never seen What's Love Got to Do with it. Is what I'm saying.
It's funny though. It's funny.
My kids came up.
The movie's funny. Come on.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hey fam, when they
Okay,
fight that
well.
limo and he lifts and they lift to the hotel counter,
No.
it's hilarious. Which means
Just so we're clear, domestic abuse or abuse of any kind is not fun. That is not a joke.
It was just like, wait, what?
I
Not-
watching that counter all scarred up is hilarious.
Not a
So-
joke.
All right, now it's Matt's turn. Now it's
my
Matt's
kids are a lot younger than theirs.
Mm-hmm.
My
Some of them.
correct. My oldest kid is
This nigga
about
like to stick the landing. Couldn't pull out a garage. I'm
couldn't
sorry.
help it. You know what I mean? You know when it's cold in the winter.
Oh.
You know, Davis
Yeah,
Young.
Roll
I
outside.
live in Minnesota, so
You know.
It's cold all year round. You got a
Oh,
coat.
yeah.
not all year
Couple
round, but pretty much. Not all year round, but yeah.
So my kids came up in wrestling. They got big into wrestling when Kofi was on his come up. You know what I'm saying? So their favorite wrestlers are Kofi, Big E, Daniel Bryan, because Xavier Woods doesn't wrestle and he's trash. But they like
That's
Daniel
right, we're not gonna do
Bryan.
that.
They like, I'm sorry, one band, one sound. They love Xavier Woods.
What if the sound is that he's trash as a wrestler, though?
He's not. How are we? We'll have that debate. I want
We
to.
can't- correct. We can't have the Xavier. We'll have the Xavier conversation at some
Yeah.
point. I don't think it'll be today.
Again, if I'm a permanent picture, then we'll have a whole bunch of stuff tabled for a later date. And
I'm with it.
You know.
I'm with it.
So they love those guys. You know what I'm saying? They know who John Cena is, but it's not a big thing. Kofi is the guy.
Probably
So
because of you.
when-
Yeah, you know.
Nope. Because Cal got on me when my daughter came down and said, "Who do we like?"
Okay.
And Cal was like, "How you going to tell them who they like?" So I said, "Hold on, relax. They like who they like." So Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Kofi, Big E, and Daniel Bryan. Those are their favorites. So when Kofi was fighting for the title against Daniel Bryan, my kids were up. So if the people recall, when I was
the pose,
my kids was right there.
Yeah,
my kids was right there bugging out. Oh shit, Kofi won. Yeah, you know what I mean. I love when that happened. Oh shit, Kofi won. I'm like, oh,
Dad, look, that nigga did that shit.
That's exactly what I said. That nigga won. So,
but wait,
when he brings his kids in, I'm like almost like, oh, wow, that
was dope.
Yeah,
that was real dope.
And his kids like trying to lift the bar.
You know what's funny?
That's what it's for. Like,
you know what's funny is I may have gotten emotional when he brought his kids in, except for one of his boys had on a pair of Uggs, and it really threw me off. Like
they had boy Uggs is a thing.
No, it wasn't the boy ones. They was
No, you can't tell. You can't tell.
Yeah, you can't. Not really.
Yeah, you can't tell.
I thought the dude Uggs looked like boots.
No.
They just be looking like Uggs. They look like Uggs being worn by men.
They look like
that was the point. That was the whole point of Tom.
Either way, when I saw his kid in Uggs,
Nugs.
That nigga had the baked potato.
Hey, Davis, don't you say that. Don't you say that.
It threw me off. When he had the baked potato twos on, it threw me off. So it kind of took me out of the moment.
I'm surprised he didn't have his kids rocking their Pumas. They just came out that weekend, right?
They came out that week. Baked potato
baked potato twos is crazy. Baked potato twos is funny. I never thought about how Ugg looked like a baked potato until you said that. Even on the inside.
They came out that week because you were at Foot Locker, weren't you, Cal?
I went to the Foot Locker. I had a shout out to my homie.
You said which sneakers were these? The Pumas?
Those were Filas.
They were Filas.
I was about to say, I thought they did Filas instead. Yeah,
it was the Filas in the New Day colors.
I remember the year that them niggas was rocking the Asics.
He had on Nikes during WrestleMania though.
Yeah, he wore the hybrid apps.
People like Asics.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asics Jones.
Yeah,
they all lace in the middle.
Shout out to Sean Witherspoon. The gel threes have the split.
Because
gel threes.
Who had the shoe? I think it was Wale had a pair of Asics.
That's the shoe I'm talking about. The championship.
He had his own.
That were those
shoe.
The gold.
And I'm
Wale had Asics.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
Asics.
the gold toe. They wore them. New Day wore those shoes at Mania one year.
I didn't like them. That was the first time I really sat and looked at the ASIC. I'm like,
Davis, check that out. Let's see what those are.
Yeah, I'll try.
Share your screen. You better not have a hub.
Well, I'm not going to share anything because I'm not trying to mess up my setup right now since it took me forever to get.
Nasty motherfucker.
But Cal had that WWE's had Puma collabs in the last couple of years, but not with the New Day. They had Sin Cara, they had Flair, I think they had Taker, and But no,
that was why because it was what was the Money in the Bank, were those Pumas as well? The Money in the Bank sneakers that came in the fake briefcase. I think they were.
The Pumas. They had their own specifically designed case. I thought.
Yeah,
those were the Wale's.
Oh, those were Wale's.
Oh, I never opened the case. Okay, I didn't realize because the Wale's I saw some because he had another pair, but it was like black and I think one had red, or it was like red and like remember the
Asics.
It's like the same colorway. And what was the women's Jordan 1 with the red and the blue that came out? Was it earlier this year? Was it around All-Star or before that? It was like red on the toe but blue on the back or something like that. And it was a woman's shoe, and everybody was like, "Yo, does it come in men's sizes?" Because all the guys wanted to actually cop that one woman's shoe because of the color. It was a Jordan 1. It came out early this year. I'm actually seeing. I think they probably went down in price because I'm seeing a lot of people wear them now.
Yeah, the New Day shoe is a Fila, and it's the like sky blue colorway with like the pink and white, and basically their color concept, and all that.
Yeah, I remember someone gave me a pair of the Money in the Bank with the briefcase, and I just sold it. I never opened it. It came with a key and everything. I never opened it.
That's insane. I'd at least I'd at least kept the case.
They weren't in my size. The thing was, the sneakers weren't in my size, and I don't. When people were flipping them, they weren't going for as much if it wasn't with the case.
Drop it.
That was the whole point. That was what people wanted was because it came with keys and everything. Like it was a real. It was not a real case, but it looked just. You could hold that shit up and feel like you just wanted.
Was it a real key?
It was a real key. Yeah. So.
I wanted to ask if you guys, put your kids on Rasslin because my dad watched wrestling growing up, and I'd say he watched the 805 era. He was a Crockett NWA guy more than the WWF guy. So he's a Ric Flair fan. So I grew up, you and Ric Flair are certain.
How old?
My pop's what?
How old is that?
Huh?
Oh shit! We was in the street together.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we was in the street together. So I know what he was watching.
And car rides growing up, he would be like, there was the Four Horsemen, and I'd be like, who are they? And it's Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and sometimes they had Ole Anderson, Arn's brother, and then he'd be like, and they'd fight the Road Warriors, who teamed with Nikita Koloff, and they'd face in war games, and I'm like, what's this? Like, as he's just recounting stories, and then I remember my earliest wrestling memory is 2003 Raw, where Batista returns and takes out Goldberg and joins back with Evolution for the bounty on Goldberg.
For reference, I was already engaged in 2003.
In 2003,
I was 8 years old.
I already got a VD by then.
2003.
OR.
Great VD.
I would have already been living with my wife for about a year. Yeah, about a year we've been living together. What was I going to say?
Already had the clap.
No, see, that's not what I was going to say. But no, this is what I was going to say. Something tells me that at some point, Davis's father pissed him off. He said, "You know what? Fuck all that. Oh, I don't give a fuck about Ric Flair. I don't give a fuck about Rick Steamboat.
No, never.
Fuck the
never,
Four Horsemen.
no.
He said fuck all that.
Nah. No, see, I think because he hates Bret Hart, so I grew up with the whole concept of Bret Hart.
That's why you're a Bret Hart fan.
Tell your father to see me, man.
Yeah, get your
Bret Hart
wrestled.
Bret Hart wrestled the same match.
Wow.
Flair was better. Yeah, you know that. Yeah, that was so that I would hear that growing up, and we still talk wrestling now.
What'd your pop say about Bret Hart promos?
He wasn't Ric Flair, you know.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Right.
Ric Flair was trash.
no, don't you? Oh.
Yeah, I never heard. I never heard that. But wait, did your dad still watch wrestling?
So that's the thing. I took him to we went to an NXT live event back in February before all the COVID. It was my birthday weekend. And I'm like, it's be good. We haven't been to one in like almost a decade. And I was like, and he's never seen NXT, so he doesn't know who any of these people are really. So it's his first time seeing people. He saw Bianca. He's like, okay. And then he saw Keith Lee. And it was Keith Lee versus Finn. He's like, I'd say that was the best match on the card. And like this Finn guy, like I was like, and I'm giving him the backstory on most of the people. He was impressed with Matt Riddle, which I'm like, with all what happened with him recently is kind of like, but he was just like how he moved around the ring and wrestled. But he like, he tore Rhea Ripley to shreds with just like basically what you would think like how people did China back in the day is what I would assume like the what's that type of like.
I saw how people did China back in the day. It was a head of video with her and X.
It's actually worse because people like at the very least, like people rock with Rhea. I think there were a lot of comments about China before and after she.
I'm saying like my dad's mindset was like how it was back in the day. I'm not saying people are like that now with Rhea.
Gotcha.
I mean, I when I see her, I do think she's the child that her and Triple H never had.
Wow, like I never thought about that.
If you were to put their genes together, that would be the, what would the product? Rhea Ripley is the child of Triple H in China.
Wow,
that's crazy, right?
Think about it.
Shit, that's wild. What if it is?
And she gave birth.
That's why you bring white people on the show.
Facts. This is why we need white guy Greg on the show. No, I'm kidding. But
hang on. Let me end. Is that
Go ahead.
The main event was the Broserweights, Ciampa, and Velveteen Dream. My dad wasn't high on Velveteen Dream, and I'm a big Velveteen Dream guy. And that's why hopefully we'll get back on track and talk about his return this week. Which
I think that's a perfect segue.
But they faced Undisputed Era, and I told my dad these are my horsemen. And my dad was like, "Don't you ever say something like that."
I'm surprised he didn't just walk out.
After the match, he was like, "So those guys are supposed to be like your horsemen?" I'm like, "Yeah, they are." And my dad was just like, "No, the horsemen were better." Yeah.
We're going to have to figure this shit out.
The Undisputed Era is ass. Let's transition out to. Well,
I was going to say because Velveteen Dream. I guess. I guess the situation is okay.
It's a bad thing to say. I hope it is because, like I said, since he became the Velveteen Dream, I've been on the bandwagon since day one. That whole "Say My Name" feud with Aleister was amazing, and everything he's done since he's knocked it out of the park. Until kind of the last few months before the scandal, the COVID shows again are all asterisk, but his work with Cole was kind of lackluster because it didn't have the crowd behind it, and they didn't have the proper build up with Takeover not being what it was.
Yeah. He's one of those guys who really needs a crowd. I think he
100%
suffers not having anybody there.
Yeah, I think he is the future. But if I had a number one pick for like the next 5 years, if I'm building something that'll last the next 5 years, I'd pick him number one and maybe Montez number two, just based off strength of in-ring and mic skills and charisma and the crowd reaction is that it's high with those two.
I'm going to put Montez at 1 and Velveteen at 2 just because of whatever his hair was this week.
Nah.
I don't know.
He had the blonde goatee with the blonde goatee, and I put in the Discord, and I'm like, is that something a guilty man would do? I'm like, it's like, if you're wild, then you're wild, and like,
it's so weak because, in a sense, he'll prove him guilty. we don't have
Yeah.
concrete like smoking gun evidence of this.
And it's not to like take the victims
of course
thing lightly, but it's also like stuff like that has happened. We've heard people getting hacked and all that. And his thing, it's one of those things where like you could see it, but it being true and it not being true. And with how everything was, again, it was same thing with when all that stuff happened, Matt Riddle was just about to debut and it dropped that day, right? And the stuff against him is kind of more like, whoa, disturbing, and because this is a woman's account, and then there's text with his wife and her, and he's still on TV. He's been on TV this whole time, and with Dream, it's all been speculative or kept under the radar. And then that car accident, which I joked in the Discord, was like that again. Is that something a guilty man would do? I think it is. It's like all.
David, so Dream is one of your guys?
Yeah, he is.
Dream or Randy Savage?
See, I'm not gonna go that far because I can see that Dream sloppy. He's got years to learn more, but I'd say, I mean, if he'd hope to have a career like Savage, that'd be the best case scenario. Is that he'd be as solid of a worker, because again, Savage never did anything super over the top in the ring. It was just like simple athleticism, and that's kind of what Dream is in a way, where like he tries to do a little too much, but not all the time. Like he won't try a 450, but he'll try that elbow from the pylon behind from the turnbuckle. So that's why I see them being more comparable, both as on the mic and then in the ring, where it's the athleticism and the character work is one and the same almost. If he had an Elizabeth, or I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping for. I mean, with the whole that he does this swing both ways kind of way, with like how he plays with Alistair, and then
that's cool.
No, but I mean, like in this, like the Dexter Loomis thing that was potentially building up between them got pushed to the back burner because of all the allegations against Dream, and I was hoping to see how like weird their dynamic was. Was there like would he look at him and like, is this what kind of relationship partnership is this really? Like
that's actually an amazing place to kind of dive into him coming back this week, and
because Loomis is out.
But why do we think he came? Like, why did we find out something backstage?
No. As far as I can tell, there's nothing that's been revealed at all. No. Like Meltzer put that this was the first time he's been on TV in months, and that the whole thing has been dealt with behind the scenes, that they like haven't announced anything. Like same thing with Austin Theory. Look what happened with him, and he hasn't been heard from or seen since. Fair. And his stuff was in the same as Dream, and now they just put Dream back on TV. Will they do the same with Theory in a week or two? Who knows?
Well, I think the thing with because that what Meltzer said is interesting. They dealt with it behind the scenes and haven't said anything.
So which they mean dealt with it? Like
that could mean somebody got paid off. That means maybe
dealt with it the way TNA dealt with what's his name? What's the kid that wanted to rape Mercedes?
Oh, you mean Sammy Guevara and AEW?
AEW.
Yeah, AEW.
Same difference.
Yeah. I would agree with that now. Right, like after the first 2 months after they launched, I'm like, this is looking really good. But all these COVID shows are, shaky. But I think they've really dropped the ball, in my opinion. Because I was like Cody shout out to Cody Dre, Black Announce Table. I was on his side with that. AEW is a good alternative, and they're doing all right. But since March, I think I'm on Eve's side.
Oh wow,
they've been bad, and it's like
everybody's been bad though.
Well, yeah, every.
Well, you mentioned COVID. I'm sorry. Did you watch this week's AEW and saw they had?
I haven't. I'm behind on AEW. I haven't seen this week's.
Well,
but I saw they had fans in the crowd.
There were apparently there were like 150 people in the stands. They had them.
It was family.
They were what they did.
But it's still weird to do that.
Yeah, they said that they took mad precautions. They said you had to be in there with a mask on the whole time, and they said they had people monitoring to make sure that people had their masks on all the time. They also they weren't together. If you came if it was like
sure.
I think what they were saying was like if it was a group of people, so like if it was like 8 or 10 deep, they let them sit together. But if it was like two of y'all and then someone else, that y'all would have to be. And it looks like they were also they were higher up. I'm sorry.
Did they say how you got in? Like how you got?
It said they. All I saw was that they were invited spectators, and but I was trying to figure out, like, did they have some people entering through one door and like they sent some to another door? Like, I would assume that you would have to take all of these precautions, especially if you're going to have like 150 people come into a place during the quarantine.
I'd say it's probably like the Chappelle 846 special where, you know, how did those people get that invite? It was probably set up through where whoever was around the area would pay what amount or whatever.
Some type of giveaway or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, and exactly. And then they were all monitored. And those people, if you see when they pan in the crowd with Chappelle, that they were distance.
They were apart.
But for AEW, I just saw the one picture where it looked like they were actually kind of pretty close. Maybe again because it was rows behind rows, but like you'd spread it out. But then it would just look like a bad baseball game.
There's one good shot. I think it was during. I think it was during the Adam Page, Omega, and they fought the Dark. Did they fight the Dark? No, they fought. Who did they wrestle?
No, they fought. I thought they fought the Dark Order too.
No, the Bucks had the Dark Order. No, they opened the show with the Bucks and the Dark Order.
I thought they both had the Dark Order. To be honest with you.
What y'all saying?
No. Like Omega and Page wrestled Jurassic Express.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But during that match,
I hate Marco Stunt.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. During that match, Frankie could they have the AEW people at ringside.
Yeah, which was a good idea from the start.
It works well. I mean, you get it's a lot of noise, and it was cool because with the fans, you could hear a lot of noise, and like people like Jericho were making sure to look at them and try and get that energy. But it was the AEW people, and then it might have been like 6 or 7 empty rows, and Frankie Kazarian is just sitting there by himself. But then like you look in the back, and it looked like it was like 20 or 30 rows up. And then you started seeing like actual fans.
And then you saw Sting in the back all the way up in the rafters.
Sting was just looking at them, he was hitting the but it was interesting to see. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like I don't need to see hundreds of people.
Crowd.
Yeah, I don't need to see hundreds of people anywhere, anytime right now. I don't want to see them at the club. I don't want to see them in someone's basement.
I don't want to watch a disease get transmitted.
Exactly. It's a little weird.
Matt,
don't do it.
Matt had a look like he was going to say something.
Don't do it.
I got this one tape.
Yeah, exactly. Let me look in my archive. The only reason I really watched AEW was the Scorpio Sky match.
See, I was about to say, and Cody won, right? Which is just like, so how many people does he have to beat that are black in that company?
Cody rode down to the ring. It was him, Brady Rhodes, Goldust, Arn Anderson, and then a white woman and a white dude holding Nightmare.
Oh, so
American Nightmare fan.
Allie and then QT Marshall probably.
Yeah,
because they run that stupid night. Yeah, God,
that's bad. And then they leave.
Yeah,
and then he has a really good match with the black dude that he beat with a second crossroad.
But did he have a good match, or did Scorpio Sky put on a good match?
It was a good match.
It was a good match. My favorite moment was Cody was outside the ring, hard camera side, on like that little carpet area between the walkway and the ring. I like
that setup.
He was on that part of the stage. Scorpio runs, hits the ropes, jumps over the ropes, and hits him with a cutter right there.
Yeah,
that
he does that move.
That
does that move.
It was a solid. I was very disappointed with how the match ended for the way.
Well, obviously, I mean, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, it was a hard fought match. Scorpio was putting in work, and Cody sold a lot during that match. And to have it felt like it ended very abruptly. Like he hit him with a crossroads.
All his matches feel like that for the TV title, at least.
The other thing that killed me was the last couple of weeks he's been winning with the figure four. And he didn't even there was no working any type of
No.
leg. There was none of that stuff.
He was on the defense the majority of the match.
It was a good match. I wasn't a fan of the ending, and I mean, I don't know what this means. Like, is Scorpio Sky just going to go back to dark? Because that's what happened with Sonny Kiss.
He's going back to dark. It's over.
I didn't even see Sonny Kiss on. I'm not seeing him in the stand.
Because they're probably going to do
Dark is the show with a dark key.
Yeah. That's where the black people are.
He's got the Dark Order.
They just put their women on their own show. So I mean, they're like, yeah.
Well, and then they've got the whole the women's tournament that's it's airing on YouTube.
It's airing on YouTube.
Well, I mean, look at their women division. It's not good.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They were like, let's just.
I'm not risking my TV with those people.
It's like it's
people, women.
It's a women's tag team.
No, you can't. You don't have to. You know what I mean? You don't know all their pronouns, so I'm not risking my TV.
Because you're talking about Nyla Rose specifically. So yeah, good one. Yeah.
I don't.
Matt
I
is
am
just
definitely allowed to not like Nyla Rose.
Well, because she's bad as a worker. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah, I'm not. She's one. She's one of the women in that division. I'm not. And shout out black folk, but I'm not excited to watch her.
She is their second champion, and the majority of the first like 6 months of what they did was in their division revolved around Nyla Rose, and
not the entire history of the company revolved around her.
The chick that had the mustache from the nigga from she was trash. Like, they were just doing a bunch of really, really bad stuff in that division. And
still.
And the problem now is the chick that they have as champion is like Io Light. You know what I'm saying?
She's poor woman's Io Shirai.
Yeah.
I like her finisher. That finisher was dope.
She's like Jarrett Jack or George Hill. Like, you couldn't get the All-Star, but you got, the 6-man or, yeah.
Right.
They don't, like, they're not, she wins the match because she wrestled some woman I've never seen before. I don't know.
She wrestled,
I forget the woman. She the one. And they're like, yeah, she's going to go to Tony Schiavone. She's got some comments. She got something to say. And Tony's like, yeah, this lady's trying to challenge you. She's like, I'm waiting for you. And then she walked out. I'm like, what? This is your best woman in the division. Y'all can't give her nothing. Y'all couldn't. It's amazing that Britt Baker and Big Swole, it has so much more in terms of a storyline than whatever the champions do. If Britt Baker
was healthy, they would probably have a really, really good story that probably would involve the title right now.
But even then, they could have done the thing where, like, remember back in 05, Booker T was injured, and he got or 05, 06, Booker T was injured, and he had the series with the man who should not be named for the U.S. title, and he picked Randy Orton. Well, I he picked Randy Orton as his proxy to wrestle for him. They could do that with Britt Baker, and it sets up another feud potentially, or someone to turn on Brie.
Isn't there a chick that's already like pushing a wheelchair or whatever?
Yeah, but not her. She's not a wrestler.
No, she's not good either.
I think she's a good character. I don't know if she's a good wrestler.
Other than Swole, who good?
In the women's division?
She is good.
She is a good wrestler. I just don't. She just doesn't have like a good character.
Well, shout out to Penelope Ford. I think she's.
I was gonna say, yeah.
She's rich woman's Alexa Bliss. Like, she's better than Alexa Bliss, and they're practically
she sucks too. Alexa Bliss definitely sucks too.
No, but I'm saying that it's funny that AEW has the better version of Alexa Bliss. Like,
oh my god!
Real quick, I'm on the Observer, and it just shows that AEW released Jimmy Havoc, Bria Priestley, and Sadie Gibbs. So
I don't know who the last one.
Wu-Tang just expelled King Just. And Killer Sid.
But wait, no, because Jimmy Havoc was wrapped up in the allegations too, right?
So that's what I'm saying with the whole Dream, Matt Riddle, and Sammy is that I look at Sammy a weird way now after all that stuff. Like I was catching up on AEW yesterday, and he had a promo. I'm just like, I even hate this guy even more now.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. With he was dead wrong, but I don't think he was like it wasn't a fireable offense. I don't think they were supposed to fire Yo.
No, I mean, but it's just a fucked up thing and a weird thing to say.
It was a really bad thing to say.
But that's how them little internet weird niggas be talking.
Nah, you don't.
That is how them internet weird niggas be talking.
You don't operate like that in the real world, cuz.
Yeah, no, that's what
I understand.
Matt's saying.
But
just because you have the internet doesn't mean you get to say whatever you want. But then Bam's saying everyone does, though, no matter what it is, whether it's something that people will agree with or people won't agree with at all. That's the unfortunate thing.
After a while, you have to look at intent, right? And I'm never, ever caping for a nigga saying, I would love to rape this chick. But he did not mean, I want to quarter this woman and take something from her.
I don't know that.
You don't know that. I mean, I look at him now.
I do. I've heard niggas talk like I've seen niggas.
Yeah.
Internet
troll
game. What's that little game them niggas used to play?
I don't know.
With the
I don't play no games, nigga.
World of Warcraft niggas, man.
You be playing pro wrestling on NES. What the fuck you talking about?
Niggas talk like that.
Donkey Kong Jr. face ass. I don't play no video games.
Play no games,
nigga. Your whole life is a fucking.
Quit school because of recess. You fucking BG.
Shut up, nigga.
But
mind you,
Jimmy,
I'm sorry, because this man forgets that he's the one who bought a Nintendo and like 80 games. We trying to talk pro wrestling. He's sitting on the polo. Y'all, look at how this shit go. Wait, when's the last time y'all played Super Mario 3? Look at the fuck out of here.
They were like, yo, do you like Ice Climber, nigga?
you trying to play Duck Hunt?
He probably was.
Yes, nigga.
I don't play no games. No, what you gonna say? What you gonna say, David?
I thought the Jimmy Havoc thing must have been as bad as
Jimmy Havoc has an issue.
Yeah.
I don't think Jimmy Havoc's was. I thought it was actual like physical abuse.
It wasn't it?
They said he went to rehab, or they like sent him away to go get some help. So it sounds. I didn't go through what was going on with him, but I remember it being serious enough where they said go away somewhere.
Yeah.
But I guess whatever happened, Tony Khan and people felt it was a fireable offense. I don't know if it's a 1-to-1. I feel like AEW is going to be when shit like that goes down, they're going to be a little more proactive and a little more
now.
But I mean, even with the Sammy Guevara situation, like once that came out, it wasn't like it wasn't a Velveteen Dream situation. But by the end of that week, that man was out, and they were saying,
same thing with
his pay's going away for a bit. So
Excalibur is still out, right?
He's not been on TV.
Yeah,
he's not been on. So I think either
and that 3-man booth is working better without him.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest Taz fan. I'm in watching old like 2001 SmackDown over the quarantine. It's Taz and Michael Cole as the announced team, and that's
when he just started, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I've grown to appreciate Taz, and I think he works well with Jim and Tony. And again,
but that's the thing I see. I liked Excalibur because he ran PWG, and that's something that got me back into wrestling when I was out for a stretch. And that's
before you knew he was on some other shit.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, and I always liked his commentary whenever I would hear it. It'd be like basically how someone would tweet. I mean, how someone would watch wrestling and tweet about it. Essentially, like you'd make jokes or and all of this stuff. It's like, and that's what I wanted to say about Raw. Is that so? In the same night, Randy Orton beat Kevin Owens, who said the N-word. And he punted Ric Flair to heaven, who said the N-word. So Randy Orton truly is woke now. He did that the same night.
But he may have said the N-word too, though. But he was apparently doing it.
Wait, you mean Randy Orton?
Yeah, it's not been proven though.
I believe it. I believe Randy Orton does 100%.
At least on the game.
The man he shit in a purse. He definitely said the N-word. So yeah.
I forgot about that. Actually, I forgot he murdered Ric Flair on Raw as well. I hope that means that he's gone. It's a wrap.
I would just hope so for his health.
Yes.
But I also thought he gave a good promo for how like real it kind of seemed like, where like he's an old man wanting the spotlight and he doesn't have it anymore. And that's when Randy Orton calls him a whore for the spotlight, which is like
it's
a great line.
He's been cooking for like the last 4 months.
But like in the last, he's someone who I've grown over the course of his career, because his career and my fandom started at the same time, practically 03. So he's someone who I've been a fan of and not a fan of, off and on, both.
I've mostly not been a fan of.
As a work and as a shoot, in a sense, where like I didn't like him because I think he's a shitty person, kind of. Even though now he seems to have righted those wrongs in a way, but also, I mean, as a like worker, the whole coasting and losing interest and then getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity.
Yeah.
That's something I want. If you guys saw what was kind of going on Twitter today, that it was like who's mainstream in wrestling kind of now, and people talk about how Ric Flair wasn't mainstream.
Correct.
Wait, they said Ric Flair wasn't mainstream?
As much as the racist was, or
gotcha.
or Dwayne or Batista is now, or John Cena.
Correct.
Ric Flair's mainstream, like they were saying, like in the hip hop world now with the influence, and I'd say he's mainstream. If you watched Eastbound and Down, the Will Ferrell, Ashley Schaefer character is 100% a Ric Flair parody. So anyone that Danny McBride and Jody Hill, they were from the South, so they probably grew up watching Crockett and all that.
Hey, bitch. Just because Davis on the show don't mean you can relax, motherfucker.
He chilling. He big chilling. That's that wine, though. He said he spilled a whole bottle of wine. No, that's all.
Not you. I'm talking about.
No, I'm saying I'm clearing the paint. Like
it is
I thought
this guy motherfucker got his hands up.
I can't relax. This nigga to show this too.
Put his whole feet up.
Showing feet.
I respect it.
Hey,
this nigga's going to show.
Come on here with the white feet.
Davis, you got that?
I'm with it. No, I'm with it.
Don't white socks on no more, motherfucker.
Here he go.
Put the shoes on.
Stupid.
But I was saying is that because about mainstream, that Chris Jericho isn't mainstream, even though he's tried so hard to be over the course of his career by literally doing anything that's TV or music or anything. He was on.
Remember he was hosting that robot show?
He was hosting so many shows.
Robots?
And he did Dancing with the Stars, right?
No, he did like the ice skating version of that. I think he did like he did the one where like they sang with real singers, because he's not a real singer type of thing. But it reminded me of when CM Punk had the famous interview with Cabana, the podcast, and he talked about how how he wasn't big, and it was kind of during those promos during that Summer Punk with Triple H, where Triple H was like, we won't have to call 7-Eleven to get you on the cup. They'll call us because they want you. And then, but after that time, places started calling Punk, and then WWE did the whole, no, you don't want him. You want Sheamus. You want Randy Orton. And that's where Punk said he got so frustrated, is that all the stuff started coming towards him, and he had a chance to be huge mainstream wise, at least for a period of time, where, you know, because he had one of the most famous angles in the last 10 years where people thought it was real, and they just cooled it down. They put it on ice and tried to take whatever benefits or profits they would get from him and put it towards someone else. And he said himself, like, he had the potential for sponsorships from Slim Jim and whoever, and they said no. Brock Lesnar comes back, he has Jimmy John's on his fucking trunks, and Punk says he already had that to begin with, so I'm not mad at that. But come on, it's like you can't just be one way. And Brock's a Vince guy, and that's what I mean. So it was a whole concept of wrestling always wants people to be mainstream, but they want to choose to be mainstream. And no bigger point of that than Zack Ryder with the whole YouTube show. They took that man's internet mainstream and destroyed it.
And then had a poppin' YouTube page after it.
Exactly.
Shit. I'm with it. No, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
I was thinking about that today at work. I'm like, when I'm on the pod, I got this whole like rant I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be like,
I'm with it.
yeah.
No, that's fine.
Hey, have y'all niggas seen the CM Punk or I'm sorry, the ice cream bars in the store?
No.
That's the thing, and he wanted to bring those back, and would those have sold out? Probably. Because of him,
I think they're at Walmart, yo.
I don't go to Walmart.
Different versions, right?
They like the square. They actually ice cream sandwich.
He wanted the actual ice cream bars.
The bars, yeah. I think when they first came back, you could. The only way I could see you could order them is through the website. There was a website you could
which
order.
Is like weird to order food from like a shop website. Like
they got to be.
Let me get a T-shirt, a mask, and some ice cream bars.
Because tonight only they're having a sale.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a situation where like you could only buy you couldn't buy one bar. You had to buy like a pack, and I'm guessing
you bought the whole case.
Yeah, they had that at the very least pack that shit with dry ice or something. So
definitely, yeah.
But
speaking of shit, business with that.
For real. Speaking of shit that came back, for some reason Mike Chioda is now with AEW. I don't. This is. Every week they're going to bring somebody from the WWE.
See, that's where fans right where it's TNA. What do?
Yes.
Recycle.
Chris Jericho before his match with Orange Cassidy, which was a good match again until.
See, I think I haven't seen it yet.
The schmosh. They actually like Jericho let Orange Cassidy get some shit off.
Well, I remember in the Discord, I told you that Orange Cassidy had the best match of the year, and you said no, it was Chris Bay, Willie Mack, and I said that match was really good, but Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy versus Pac is a better match. It's the match of the year.
I still think the Chris Bay, Willie Mack. They had a series of matches that were fire too.
Facts.
They've had a rematch since then.
They had
two matches.
No, they had more. Because remember, they were having those three-way matches too on Impact. It was.
I don't watch Impact. I watched that match because you told me to watch it, and I said it was good.
Yeah,
because that's the first time I seen Chris.
They had been like that match, that triple threat match for the X Division title. It was Willie Mack, Chris Bay, and I forget who the third guy was. That was the first time I started really watching Impact weekly.
Okay.
And I think the feud was Chris Bay and Willie Mack. So they've had a number of matches. The pay-per-view match was really good, and then they had a rematch that following Tuesday on Impact as well. It was really good. And that would have been it would have been what the Impact immediately after Slammiversary. Two really, and that might have been the first match on that card too, on that show. Really good match though, really good matches. But yeah, Mike Chioda's back. The thing that killed me with Mike Chioda is not just that the stat might be that he's the longest tenured ref. So I think he was there from from 89 until whenever they let people go for COVID in April. Chris Jericho backstage is like, "Hey Mike, we go way back. You know me, I know you." They already said that because Mike Chioda refed the Cody match, so his debut he already was there. Okay. But Chris Jericho's line, it was
he
silly.
did. He counted 4 times. I saw that.
He said, Chris Jericho said, "If you do right by me, I'll do right by you by getting you a job here." But it's like he already he has he worked.
Yeah, so
on the show. It was weird commentary, but I just thought it was odd that.
So now they're Nitro.
They had to make sure though that there was a reference to their history, and that history is in their It's.
Yeah, Chioda had started in '89, and he was let go earlier this year in 20. So yeah, he almost had. Well, not almost. He did have three decades worth of tenureship there, which is again. I recognize him instantly. He's Mike Chioda, the ref with the short gelled hair.
Fade.
When did he start? He wasn't early '90s. He wasn't a guy that
it showed. He probably wasn't he big during mainly the Attitude Era. Is what it.
I'm thinking, when some of those when the Earl Hebners got out the game.
He refereed the match where the 1-2-3 upset. The 1-2-3 Kid upset Razor Ramon.
Oh, I promise you, the one thing I don't remember about that match is what the ref looked like.
Well, no, that's fine, but
that would have been 91, 90, 91.
No, that was
91.
I don't know. No, Raw would have it would 93, 94?
It would probably be 95, I think.
95?
No, it wasn't 95. It couldn't have been 95.
Because he was 1-2-3 Kid.
Had to be like 93.
He was Lightning Kid.
He was Lightning.
Then he was one
Kid.
Was he the TKO Kid or something like that too?
No, he was Chaz the Lightning Kid from ESPN Wrestling.
But then he beat Razor, so he was 1-2-3 Kid.
1-2-3 Kid.
He was the Lightning Kid, the Kamikaze Kid, which is the Cannonball Kid, which is just
Wow.
Six Pac, X-Pac, and Sean Waltman, his name. Minneapolis native. Shout out to him.
Man, you can't shout out Minneapolis.
That was 95. That would 95 would make sense because then he would have went to 95.
It's mid 90s. Is what I'll.
It's 90. It's May 17th, 1993.
Yeah, 93.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's 93. Right. So what the fuck was he doing between?
Well, no, hang on.
Huh?
Wait, what's he doing between what?
Well, I'm saying like between.
Oh, Mike Chioda?
No. I'm talking about 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah, he's doing
Doing what?
Wrestling.
Yeah, the pig ring. Was he on the pig ring?
Wait, no. You can't just. ESPN had.
He signed in 93, so he was probably in. Yeah, it says that he was in PWA, GWF.
Whatever the fuck was on ESPN at the time, that's where he was. That's because he was Chaz the Lightning Kid.
That's before WWF?
Yes.
So he was there, then he went to WWF. What I'm saying is
WWF as a jobber.
GWF was on ESPN, and that was
that would have been what Matt might have been watching.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. And that's where he was. That's where he was before WWF, where he was a jobber of all the different names until he became the 1-2-3 Kid.
But all right, so he became the 1-2-3 Kid, and I know at some point he became. I think he was a heel. He was a babyface, and then he was a heel. But I don't remember what happened in between heel 1-2-3 Kid and
WCW.
On because he was 6, but he was supposed to be the 6th member of NWO. But I don't remember. I can't for the life of me remember the end of his WWF tenure, his first tenure there.
It seems like he joined the $1 Million Corporation.
Ooh, that's right.
DiBiase. David
Terrible.
DiBiase here. So
that's why I don't remember. That was a horrible decision.
And he was all clicked up too back then. So during that time period,
that means he was all on the drugs.
Not Triple H though. Apparently, he was the Michael Jordan, but I don't. He was on. I ain't doing.
Who was Michael Jordan?
Triple H. He did the whole. I'm not drinking. I'm not.
No. All right. So I may have told this story already.
No, and I'm not saying like he's. I'm saying he did the Michael Jordan thing where he was like Michael Jordan and
he was. I'm better with everybody.
Matt
I think Matt heard something else.
Yeah,
Matt think you called him a buddy or something. I don't know what he heard.
You're not gonna tell me Triple H and Michael Jordan go in the same sentence. That's
here you go.
No.
On their arrogance of drug free. Like I'm drug free.
Yeah,
I don't do that stuff. Cocaine bulls.
Yeah, that's what that
was. I seen Triple H's nose.
My Crown Royal.
I seen Triple H's nose.
Triple H has water. He has watery eyes all the time, and look at Jordan's eyes. See, that's what I mean.
Like vacuum.
No, Jordan's eyes aren't watery; they're whiskey.
Well, I know.
That
looks
like whiskey.
Water.
That's like a half full whiskey glass.
You gotta go the night till like.
No, but all right, so. I overheard niggas talking about Triple H in a hotel one time. It was Briscoe.
You snitching?
Nah, it was Briscoe, and
he said Briscoe. Not which one.
The Intercontinental, and not the.
No, I'm trying to save you right now.
Gerald Briscoe, and then was the nigga.
Jay and Mark Briscoe.
No. This nigga had all his teeth, and it was Briscoe, and then the dude that used to be head of security, the salt and pepper hair. I think he passed away now. But he looked like a big swole Vince McMahon. He was like head of security back then. Jack something. I can't think of his name.
Swagger.
Shut up. Anyway, but they were talking about this nigga H, and this was the first time I ever got like complimentary tickets or whatever.
Oh wow, look at you, see.
And nigga was just like, yo, this nigga trains harder, work harder than anybody else. And this was when he was in the doghouse. This was like maybe around Mania 20. You know what I mean? When they didn't
in the doghouse back then, though. So that's what I mean. Like,
it was just these niggas was over, like they loved this nigga, and he wasn't even in that position yet where he was assumed to be such and such. Because he kind of was, because if you go back around that time, he married Stephanie that previous September, I think. But when,
and there's already
but marrying in that line, he wasn't anywhere near.
No, but then everyone's starting to say at that time he starts to sit in during that period. He starts to sit in meetings and watch, and then over the course of that time, he then gets his input of who's got it, who's not.
I don't know. All I know is them niggas love Buddy. They was like, yo. Buddy be in the meet, he be in the gym. He's the first at the meeting, man. This guy really is about it.
Never been a fan, so.
Trip, yeah, I'm not the biggest.
Shout out to Trips.
Do I have a favorite Triple H match?
Trips got some good matches. Trips,
he's got good matches, but
yeah.
But what would be my favorite?
Him and Taker.
Why? He's not good because he's not the reason they're good though. Is what I'll say.
You think Taker's the reason why Taker's
matches? The matches they had are horrible. No.
Triple H isn't good.
Let's lay around for 5 minutes, get up and do one move to each other, then lay around for 5 minutes. That's their mindset.
It's always, especially later. It's all right. This match is now no holds barred. We can bring a goddamn.
I've always said, for the guy who always wanted to be a pure worker.
Mm-hmm.
No one's a better wrestler than me. No one can have a straightforward wrestling match. He can't. Every match has to have a stipulation. Yeah.
Super trash.
Because I can't. I'm the best wrestler in this industry. Fuck off.
Y'all niggas is crazy.
I love it. I love it.
You've been bugging on this
shit is fun.
Shawn Michaels Triple H train.
Hey, shoot, them niggas. If it weren't for them niggas, we'd be watching WCW Raw right now.
Whoa. If WCW didn't shoot themselves in the foot every 5 minutes, they'd still be around.
Yeah, because Bret Hart went there.
No, because Kevin Nash went there. And fuck Kevin Nash.
Bret Hart had more classic matches in WCW than Triple H.
Both them niggas had zero classic matches.
No. You can't say that.
Bret Hart.
He had the Benoit match.
The Benoit match was fire. The Benoit match was fire. It was not because of Benoit. It was because they're both ill.
Benoit wasn't good.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
Benoit wasn't great.
You cannot say that match was good because of Benoit when it was Bret Hart. Like Bret Hart, because Bret is fucking Bret.
What are we talking? Bret Hart wasn't Bret Hart in WCW.
What are you talking? That match was. Have you watched that match?
Bret Hart was never Bret Hart in WCW.
Have you ever watched the match though?
Yeah.
You gotta rewatch it. You gotta rewatch it. But you also hate Bret Hart. So what are we talking about here?
You know how you bullshitting? Because when I bring up the fact that it's the people that Shawn Michaels danced with, you trying to tell me I'm wrong. We're talking
because Bret Hart wasn't Bret Hart in WCW.
Oh shit.
He was for that match.
Huh?
How long was he there?
It was short.
When did he wrestle Benoit? When did he wrestle Benoit?
He wrestled Benoit after Owen Hart died. It was the Owen Hart tribute.
Well,
It was
the only.
I don't know dates. When have you ever said, when I knew?
I don't know the exact date. It wasn't like the week after. It might have been a couple of weeks after, but and it wasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it near or in the same arena or something like that? There was some weird story behind where and why, there was some reason as to why it was that place or something like that.
So
but
the match was fire, Cal.
Bruh, I bought the Benoit DVD
Hard Knocks
on eBay.
I had that growing up.
That match was included on like this
That's
2 or
on
something
there.
like that. It's an amazing match. It's an amazing. To Fam's credit, it could be Bret's one and only dope match in WCW, especially compared to his history of matches in the WWF. But I can't say there's 2. I know there's 1, and it's Bret and Chris.
You can't give me a Triple H classic match. I'll wait.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Especially one that's supposed to be a match, not like a
Street fight?
Extreme Rules, a last man standing match. Yeah, if you want a pure Triple H match, he doesn't have them. For as much as he likes to brag about being, again, this is the character of him wanting to be Ric Flair meets Harley Race, which is like, you're clearly not that.
You can do any of the Triple H Rocky IC stuff.
Oh my god! Hey, you know what?
what? No, but see, this is the thing that's tragic. I could have gotten a legit match, and the nigga was like, "Come on, yo, nah, that is a classic feud. That's not a classic feud."
We didn't ask you that. I said,
those matches were amazing. Any of those matches were amazing. Any of those matches were amazing.
No, what I asked you was, give me a classic match. You trying to give me a classic feud? That's different.
Any of those matches will do.
Okay, so let's do homework.
I gotta watch a Triple H match for homework.
Exactly. You don't want to because it's garbage.
What I'm saying is I'm watching 2001 Raw and SmackDown. It is the 2-man power trip, and it's the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life.
I did this. I watched something. I did that a while back, and I never finished it because it leads up to the Alliance versus the WWF. Like that's, but you have to start with the 2-man power trip, and they're just it
goes on for so long, and there's no hint of WCW aside from Shane McMahon.
Though. That's about booking and story.
No, I'm just saying in general. If we're doing homework to watch Triple H matches, I know I'm going to be bored because I don't enjoy Triple H matches at all. I don't. Those are the matches when they come on during WrestleMania. It's like, all right, bet 40 minutes. There's probably something else I can do while this is on.
How many matches is Triple H in The Rock?
I'm not sure.
During that period.
I mean,
they kept
those guys.
They kept going back to that between
and the Continental
IC. They went back and forth between IC, and then it went all the way up until
a feud discussion. That's a feud. It starts out in the mid card, then works its way up to the main event. Like that. If that's what you're trying to say, what a real feud is, that's something that is layered and story behind it. Even though they don't, as you go further, you don't acknowledge the past as much, but that's storytelling in a way.
Mr. Drip, next week, can you give us the amount of matches?
I can do it. I'll try to do it right now.
Oh shit, you ain't got that much time, nigga. We about to close.
Yeah,
we've been here for a while. I look like I'm holding this up. I don't think there isn't much else to talk about.
Oh wait, no. We got it. We got to talk about the Keith Lee.
Oh, why does eyes get burned out? What
paper, yo? That was the same flash paper that Hogan was. He was gonna blind him. He was gonna blind him.
Flash paper.
So our Discord keeps saying that WWE has a fascination with eyes, either getting poked out or burned or what. I mean,
It's eyeballs.
It started with Dean Ambrose, Moxley sticking a Chevrolet key in a nigga eye.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why a Chevrolet key? And then the niggas was coming to the match with the key between their fingers, like, I'm gonna get you, nigga. I was like, nigga, what kind of welfare Wolverine are you at this point? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then he come down.
He is welfare Wolverine.
Yes, he is. That's funny.
I hate them niggas. Right. Like,
Hold up.
And then these niggas come back and now the Rey Mysterio eye is on the steps and then it came out and he's like, oh, we put it back in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, we had
That's
Cactus
funny.
Jack in the back. He put, you know what I mean? He put his eye back together with a chainsaw Charlie. And you know what I mean? Like and now Keith Lee opened the contract from you know what I'm saying, Killer Croc, and Killer Croc girlfriend hand on the paper, and he opened the book, and he was like, this ain't the Bible, and fuck him out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
Wait,
And then I'm gonna tell you, I have to preface this with I love Keith Lee. I am a Keith Lee fan. Keith Lee puts on amazing matches. He's had some great feuds. He's and he black, and I'm supposed to like him anyway, right? So I'm not supposed to talk bad about Keith Lee. However, I'm about to talk bad about Keith Lee because Keith Lee's walk on the way back. No. Everybody watched this last night. Keith Lee on the way back to the set. You're right now, but sometimes you gotta find the drummer like James Brown did. You was late, Mr. Charles. So when this nigga Keith Lee get burnt by the paper and he is walking slowly, like remember the child and he's walking slowly to the ring and he just go, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Come on, yo. And then he would stop and he would grab his face and he'll look at his hand. He'll never look back up. He looked down at his hands. He put his hand back over. He looked down at his like, what are you doing, nigga? What are you supposed to? And then me and Yim said, I rush back here from my fiance's eye surgery just in time for my match. I may not be focused, but they say he's going to be okay.
Wait. This sounds eerily familiar. Isn't this essentially the Montez Ford Bianca Belair? Like,
that's what I said the other day in the Discord, is that they try every show mirrors each other.
How many?
Why?
It's because they got the same nigga booking. That's probably Pritchard that did that too. It's all Pritchard.
That's why I applied for the SmackDown job, if you saw that.
Yeah, how about that? Davis might be around, but he might also leave because he's applied to have a whole corporate job. If he does that, that's the way we infiltrate. That he's the way we get our feet in the door. Fuck
is he the one that lets us know who says nigga backstage?
I would hope so. Yeah. I would hope so.
It's gonna be him. It's gonna be him.
The funny thing is, nobody's gonna know what that means.
Nobody's gonna know what that means. Matter of fact, one other person might know.
Yeah, one other. We'll Anyway.
Ben Rock from Naughty by Nature. Anyway,
stupid.
You'll get that in a week or two.
Yeah, big facts.
Did you call him Killer Croc earlier?
Killer Croc.
Yeah, I was like,
barred up?
No, you have to roll with it.
Yeah.
Stay barred up.
No, I just mean like now I'm like, he does look like Killer Croc from Suicide Squad a little bit. If you were to put like reptile skin on it, like, even though I like Killer Croc. I'm not.
Killer Croc
I like the character. I like the character.
Killer Croc looks like the number 2 in every bad guy action movie.
That's why I like him. He looks like the anime boss villain. That's what he looks like, and that's what I dig. It's like, and again, everyone in the Discord's like, white woman's the devil, because she hands him, and I'm just like,
I told you to go open the book. This ain't the Bible.
He's walking backstage like, give me cross.
It was bad.
This nigga walked backstage.
It's almost like you should just
nigga Stein the whole time till he got to the backstage. You know what I'm saying? I hated it, yo. I listen. I don't look. There's too much supernatural stuff. You niggas accidentally booked yourself into a terrible corner by putting together two niggas that should not lose anytime soon. Neither of these guys should lose anytime soon. And you guys have booked these. So now they're doing all sort of weird supernatural stuff with two dudes that should not have that stuff.
They should have had a match on TV. Let it end in a schmoz, like a no contest. They fight until, the ref's like, no, it's not. And then at TakeOver, you do a last man standing match. No one gets pinned. No one gets submitted. It's how they do that for anyone who they don't want to look weak. It's quick. And if Cross wins, he doesn't pin Keith Lee. He doesn't look that bad by taking the L to Cross, and then like Cross wins it, and then you can do the rematch where Lee beats him and pins him, and he's the first man to ever do so or whatever. So there's a way to book it, but I agree that I've always been on the side of keep the supernatural stuff out of wrestling. So I don't like the Fiend. It doesn't work at all. I did like the Bray Wyatt. Wait, what?
Shut the fuck up.
All right, see ya. Yeah, that's it for me this week. I'm out.
I like it. I like the Fiend. I did like the Fiend at the time, but anyway, keep shit.
I'm saying the supernatural stuff in wrestling, it doesn't work when you can be fake, but you can't be too fake, and that's too fake. Like, what do you want us to believe, that a guy from the Undead's a wrestler? Okay, but then all of a sudden that's this guy's actual son in the ring. Like, come on, like you can't. Yeah, like
you ever seen somebody off a dipper, or pardon me, PC fighting?
Wow,
you don't know about no dippers. Come on, man. Come on.
You ever see somebody high off PCP?
High as fuck on a PSP. Me.
You ever seen that? You ever seen that? It's like the undead or the dead is fighting, my G.
You never heard it?
Walking around. That nigga be walking around like,
Wait, Dave, you know what a dip is, right? You don't know what a dip is? You never heard of people taking a cigarette and dipping it in formaldehyde?
Okay.
Yeah,
So like when he
dipping
does
it in formaldehyde and you
it's
smoke
him in Training Day.
Yes. Yeah.
I did not know you like to get wet.
Have you ever seen it?
Leon Isaac.
No, I've ever seen it in person.
You've never seen it?
I hope you've never been in a situation.
You haven't seen the Fiend.
Let-
You haven't seen the Fiend in real life.
Have you ever seen a real live dope fiend?
No, you don't.
Like in front of you? Have you seen the dope fiend live action?
I hope
I've got again. So the funny thing about the Discord is I got this perception that I'm a rich white guy living on an estate, a compound, because I got OVO. But I'm born and raised in California. It's a bad place to be from and all that. So I've seen and been around some shit.
It depends what part of California? Like where they make the pornos and Van Nuys?
I grew up an hour away from Oakland, so the Bay Area. So I grew up
Oaktown 357.
Shout out to Oaktown. Shout out to the Public Enemies.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to them.
So have you ever seen the dope fiend lean?
It's been a long time, and maybe I try to block it out, but I'd say probably not. No, I've seen people who have looked.
This is what I'm saying. So when you say
we do live next to we live right next to the dope capital of the world, though.
They live in the Wire.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Baltimore.
you choose. I'm sorry. Fuck it.
I grew up where every wrestler who's from here is OD'd. So I mean, I not grew up. I live an hour.
Claire keeps coming back.
And I grew up an hour.
Nap is really leaned.
Man, you gotta understand. And if one of them little niggas, when they be holding stuff, right? They be holding stuff. They'll never drop it.
No,
they'll never. And they look, but they real friendly, right? So when they first see you, they real excited. What's going on, baby? And that be the women. And he be like, "Yo, what's going on? Yo, give me, hey, bitch."
The hand hanging up.
Like it's Thriller.
Yo,
it's bad. But that shit, don't do drugs.
So when you say the supernatural in wrestling, I believe all that shit.
I've seen zombies before. I've
seen the zombies.
Yeah, I rode the train with them. I rode the train.
Okay.
I rode the train to Artscape with all sorts of zombies and ghouls and goblins and crack dealers.
You said it like Jay-Z, like ghouls.
Ghouls, goblins, crackheads, hoppers, all of them, nigga. Hoppers and twerkers and oh my gosh. Yo, really quick, we went to the Beyonce Jay-Z and we was on the twerk train. It was the wildest thing because it was a whole bunch of half naked, like 25-year-old women, and I had to sit in my seat next to my wife like this.
Yeah, looking at the floor.
So I was gonna violate, but I'm not gonna do it. So.
But her titty is now. Her titty is
It
now
wasn't.
right
It was
there. I
about
can't-
someone else. But yeah. Shout out to all you married guys, because I ain't married and I don't plan to. So. Yeah.
I mean,
oh
hey,
my man, he out here. Yeah.
do your thing. I mean, it might not be for everybody. Do you though?
Oh,
Do
that's
you?
what it is. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, not for me.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
But yeah. So the Keith Lee thing, to get back on track.
Yeah,
It's just, it's now, it's an angle I was looking forward to. It's now, I'm like, oh, great. It's got this
It's a wrap.
supernatural. Yeah. I hope the match will be good at least. I mean, I hope they have a real match and, but not a cinematic, because again, I'm not a fan of the cinematic matches, except for the Firefly Funhouse.
I guess we'll see, because that'll be coming up in the next TakeOver. Yeah. We're not going to talk about TakeOver, SummerSlam, or any of that other shit this week, because that is next weekend's going to be pretty big. Next weekend's got not only is it NXT TakeOver that's Saturday the 22nd.
TakeOver 30.
TakeOver 30, but it's Saturday Night Dynamite that they're not going to be on Wednesday, so it's 6 p.m. or I guess whenever the playoff game is done. Yeah, They're
like, hey, AEW, nigga, my wife is home. Y'all niggas get out of
here. I mean, that's going to be the card where it's going to be Cody versus Brody Lee. It's the way they were hyping Saturday Night Dynamite. I think they're talking about it like it's a I don't want to say Clash of the Champions, but it feels like they're booking.
They hyped up Fyter Fest like that, and that was it.
Yeah,
and Fight for the Fallen, and that was it. And they were going against the Great American Bash, which was, I mean, it had the better moment in history of Keith Lee winning.
Facts.
But I'd say both shows didn't reach their potential because of what's going on.
Keith Lee beat Adam Cole ass. I see you didn't mention who he took the title from, but fuck, he no longer the undisputed era.
Adam Cole, I wasn't really.
That nigga's DE. Disputed era. Anyway,
he's facing Pat McAfee.
That's gonna wrap it up for this week. Davis, this is your first time officially on the podcast, but you've heard the podcast.
And the last.
Hey, grand opening, grand closing. But before we get out of here, we have to give the people our Black Wrestler of the Week. I didn't prep you, but I'm hoping you have a Black Wrestler of the Week.
Give us a White Wrestler. All you go first, and then I'll see who's left. Because I kind of have two to pick from, I think. So.
Okay. Well, fam, who you got, fam?
I'm gonna be problematic.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna go with the dream ain't quite over, baby. Beat the case. Apparently,
you're okay doing that until it's until some shit comes out saying something's different.
It would have been my pick, and I would have felt the same way. I would have been like, begrudgingly, I would have.
It's walking on eggshells.
It's like I'm glad to see him back. But hope everything.
Yeah. Again, my hope is that the WWE
knows better.
Knows better than to.
But they also
push that shit under the rug.
He also didn't come back and was just like a bum. Like they put this nigga. He lost his match, but they put this nigga in a feud with Finn Balor.
Yep.
It's a thing. That's why
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
I'm hoping everything is on the level, because if not, A, we might not get this match, and B, it's if after this it comes out that stuff happens.
Nigga, the matches next week they straight.
They
be
like,
they can give a statement.
It's probably taped.
It probably already happened.
I think. Well, and actually, I didn't mention that, but that is something that we might be seeing. Word is that WWE sometime later this month is trying to make Raw and SmackDown live again for whatever reason.
And not in the PC.
Yeah, but as of right now, there's no plans, I think, for NXT to be live weekly as well. Again, I don't know why it needs to be live. You would think that
it doesn't.
They're not. I don't. Maybe they were spending too much money flying people out to do some of these shots. I don't fucking know. But it seems like a weird thing to be pushing now. Who knows? Man, you got a Black Wrestler of the Week?
I did. I fucking lost his name. He was on Raw Underground taking the L.
Damn it!
I lost his name, son. So I'm gonna go with somebody else is problematic for the podcast, Scorpio Sky.
I'm glad you said it.
Is he problematic because he doesn't claim anything really, or is that?
No. We got.
No, we got.
Oh wait. Actual beef, like from our.
I would say
like
it's inbox beef.
If,
this all inbox.
No, it was on.
Like,
we talked about it though.
Now we ain't really make it public.
Unlike the Moose thing, right?
It wasn't as bad as the Moose thing.
Number 51.
Well, it wasn't a back and forth like the Moose.
Yeah, yeah, that was my fault for not. I was like number 51. I was like 54. I'm like, I thought you dropped him lower than like.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
51 never make it.
But if you listen to, I think it's called Bum Fight Energy. It's an episode from earlier this year. There's a
Bum Fight Energy.
There's the Scorpio guy.
Well, it starts out because it was the same week that
he had a bum fight.
It was the same week that I almost had a bum fight, but it was the episode after what's the name? Shit, Tessa Blanchard won the Impact Championship, and then all that shit happened, and he came to her defense on like Martin Luther King Day or something.
Well, that's what I mean. I was saying he did something where it was like really like come on.
And this is that again. There's a couple of different problems in there. I'm going to give my Black Wrestler of the Week to Bianca Belair, only because I don't know if she had evidence on Zelina Vega poisoning her husband, but I respect the fact that she went to Shorty's house and attacked her during a Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was amazing. They didn't.
It was.
That
Shout
shit was
out to
amazing.
everybody who hasn't had their significant other pull up to their other significant other's house.
It ain't love if they ain't rolling up. If they ain't willing to pull up.
It really ain't love.
Yeah, that's facts.
Shout out to
Wait, so Davis, now that we've given our Black Wrestler, do you have a Black Wrestler of the Week?
Math kind of took mine.
He took your guy?
Well, no, he said the guy that lost. I was going to pick him because, like, I hope he's all right. I hope he did it to support his family because, like, doing that on national TV is like, hey, get your check. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, man, shout out, honorable mention to Brother Mav later on. My Black Wrestler of the Week.
That's funny. Yeah, for real. Shouts out Mav at Mav Damon. Champion. Champion.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Facts.
Wood everywhere.
Before we get out of here, please I guess everybody let the people know where they can find you on social media. Maybe Davis, go first. Let the people know.
Davis Coleman is always it's my name, so you can find me that on Twitter, on Instagram. That's what I'm mainly on. Just type it up. Hopefully it'll come up. It's
how long before you change your name to OVODavis?
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I got all the AK. Should I give all my AKs now, or it's not get
your bars off?
Get your bars off. Get them off.
Yeah, get your shit off.
Yeah, I mean, according to Math gives me every nickname apparently. Dangerous Danny Davis, Discord Davis, Davey Boy Drip, again the OVO.
Talk your shit, bitch. Talk, bitch.
So OVO Davis DiBiase in the Discord. Shout out to the Discord, all my people there. It's like second family, basically. It's one of the best things about the internet.
No one's ever done that on Black Wrestling. No one's ever gone.
You can't do it.
We can't do it.
You can't do it.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't got the beard. I don't have facial hair really, so it's
Don't worry.
Literally. Fucking preschool ass beard, man. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, fuck you, nigga.
Sure he drew that shit on before he got on the fucking call. What you talking about, man? He tried.
Hey,
get that guy. That's white arrogant. Stat guy. That's the other AK is the white stat guy. Even though I didn't have as much stats.
Is white guy Greg?
White guy.
Stat guy white. There's a we're working on it. We'll figure it out.
White guy Wayne.
That's even worse.
I'm with it.
I didn't have as much stats today, but maybe I'll give a listen to again. And
next week when we come back with the motherfucking stats for The Rock versus Triple H.
I counted. I think they've had about 21 matches, one-on-one matches between them.
I'm not watching that.
21 matches,
and
that's over years.
Yeah, over years.
Jeez.
Oh God,
that's a lot. And we talk about Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat.
We're moving on.
But yeah, so good. That's your guys' turn.
I am LFam798 social media choice. I almost went into the full blicky. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how often have I done the full blicky on this show?
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3.
This bitch drunk.
Yeah.
This bitch drunk, yo.
LFam798 your social media choice, aka Anderson the podcast, and LFam798 your social media choice. But more importantly,
that nigga did it twice.
At Wiz Buffy.
Man, this motherfucker is ambidextrous. 1854 Math at Math Damon. Shout out to all my family. You know what I'm saying? All the Discord motherfuckers, all y'all motherfuckers down 7-Eleven. Everybody that asked.
Boy.
Everybody that asked for teas, y'all can kiss my ass.
Wow. That's terrible. I'm at Cal on Twitter, at Black Rasslin on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BlackRasslin.com. What's up?
Pre-orders coming soon.
That man gonna kill you or himself. BlackRasslin.com is the website. And as always, you can find the Black Rasslin podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts.
Chat, yo. Huh? My bad, Cal. This motherfucker ain't look at the chat. Look at this shit.
Nah. Nobody could see that. You pointing to some shit nobody would niggas they can't see it. You point on my screen, you pointing to Davis right now.
Yeah.
Because you pointing to him because he ain't responding to chat, but they can't see the chat.
I'm not yo.
I'm not
meta math. No, you're fourth wall math over here.
Yeah, 100%, man. Stop looking at the camera, man.
Look at the chat.
Avoid the Rona.
And I totally lost my place in my little spiel. I did.
I got collard greens.
I'm just saying. Let me just say. I think I'm going to share this. And my family's probably going to listen, so that should be funny if they.
Oh my god!
Wow.
No, they probably won't. But I'll be like, hey, I might be on a podcast.
You got
be like.
Oh, you gonna be on the podcast?
No.
Don't you dare answer that.
Oh, you told them that. You're saying.
If a nigga asks you that question, yo, you're supposed to square up. You supposed to square up when he asks you that. Davis, when he asks you that, you got to square up.
You got female cousins?
Don't do that.
Oh, your auntie.
Cut his mic, yo.
I got this with No White Women 2020 for you.
That's for me. That's the Discord nigga.
Not for
you. On that note, we will catch y'all motherfuckers next week. We'll figure out. I don't think this is gonna be Davis's
Auntie Colton.
One and only time. Something tells me I think what we're gonna do last Thursday of the month is going to be Diversity Day.
This is Diversity Week.
And we'll have the homie Davis come on.
Davis to diversity higher.
Get some stats.
Next week, next episode that he's on, he's going to sing, lift every voice and sing.
He's going to have all
set off the show.
I'm going to have what?
A hoodie.
A do-rag. You get a Dewey, a hoodie.
Pam saw in the Discord when
gold teeth.
When Mac Lowe, shout out Mac Lowe, he said we're going to the do-rag store for the pod brunch next Mania.
That's a fact.
And I was like, me, jokingly, and Ilfam's like, me, and then I'm like, I'm walking in there like this, and I'm walking out.
Yes, with waves. That shit gonna be waves.
You need a Dewey on.
The most finger waviest.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna be white. You gonna like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite before he got on the bus?
I'm gonna be white chocolate, Jason Williams.
Wow. Yeah. Shit. On that note, we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
I'm out, yo. I ain't got time to be fucking with y'all, man.
You ain't got time.
I gotta go.